Good evening and welcome. You see, look, this is like when girls don't wear any makeup.
Yes.
I did nothing to my hair tonight.
Oh.
This is how my hair just looks.
You're so natural.
I've noticed something, that when I just do natural hair and I just let it fall down, I look less bald.
You know, it's kind of true.
It doesn't clump to the center the way it does when I do my hair.
You can tussle it now.
You can also see in the bangs, though, how thin that front stuff is. Like the way my bangs are.
You don't want thin front stuff.
You don't want thin front stuff. I look like a fucking monster, let's be honest.
You look like you took one of those razors and did like a fringe bang.
Yeah, it's like... Welcome to the show. Got a very good one for you tonight. Now, I do have to ask the audience a question because, April, I did something different tonight. I took a risk. Why? I rolled the dice. Mm-hmm. Does anyone see a difference in video quality tonight? Because if you don't, then I'm pretty sure I've got something new I wanted to do, and I was afraid to do it for a long time. But I talked to Kevin Dumbfuck from Why Do I Podcast.
As you should. And
he said, no, if you do this thing, it'll work. It'll be fine. I switched to ultra low latencies from low latency.
Okay.
And what that does is, because you know how many times we would do the like count?
Yes.
And all that stuff?
And there's a slow response.
Yeah.
Or a delay.
Now,
if you will.
Now I've switched to ultra low latency. Now it'll come in faster, which could be a really good thing or could be a really bad thing. Lemmy says buffering hard. Oh, they're saying buffering. Oh. Uh-oh. Are we buffering back? Because this is something I need to know. Because if we're going to go ultra, I may have to switch it back. Leg should now be 7 seconds. Well, no, it was about 7 seconds before. This is about instantaneous. Oh, they're saying buffering. I'll
just fix it then. Because, you know, whenever I'm not on the show, I'm obviously listening. I don't see a problem. Shit. It's fine.
All right. Well, here's what we will do. Oh, I can't switch it. Oh, does not support ultra low latency, closed captions 1440p and 4K. Oh, does not support closed captions 1440p and 4K resolutions. Okay.
Why don't we fix this?
Do you guys want us to come back? They're saying it's fine. You're fine now. Ryobi says unwatchable for me. Others saying all good here.
I don't want anyone to have problems.
They're saying I think the chat is doing a bit.
I don't know. Here.
Okay, so did Kevin give us terrible advice? All right. I don't know. What are you seeing?
If it was buffering, it'd sit here and spin, right?
Right, yes.
Mine's not spinning.
All right, they're saying it's fine.
All right.
I can see April. Fucking Kyle. He goes, I can see April's Charlie Brown hairdo even better. We found out that Kyle is no big fan of your hair.
Kyle
hates
you know
your
what
hair.
I don't like? I don't like people passing out on their stream when I'm enjoying them.
Shit. Well, now that's started. I can't look. There are some things I can't undo.
I like Kyle. I wish we could just, enjoy each other for what we are.
We were talking about some of our favorite guests after the Anthony Cumia interview and all that, and it's doing very well, by the way. Thank you, guys. We were talking about some of our favorite guests, and I feel terrible now because we forgot Kyle. We were mentioning Shuli. We were mentioning, Alex. We were mentioning all these other people, and we forgot to mention Kyle. And in fairness, he was early on.
I don't know if you needed to tell him you forgot about him. You could have just said, oh, look, one of our favorite guests.
That's what I should have done.
Should discuss these things with me first.
That's what I should have done. All right. They are saying that the buffering is better now. It was really bad in the beginning.
Okay.
But it's better now. Okay, good. We're going to have a great show. It's going to be fun. Hit the like button. What do we try to shoot for evening shows now?
300?
I thought it was 200 and 400 for the morning shows.
200.
Sounds good.
I hope Kyle sticks around. I like him.
Carlos Martinez, we got it. You've said it 4 times now. We just don't care. We know you're trying to simp for Elisa. It's okay. If you write it one more time, I'm going to have my mods take care of you. Because, again, we heard you. You just aren't interesting. That's all. Dabblers Unanimous says, I was asked today who I have had on my show, and I couldn't remember any of my guests, so it happens. Yeah. Thank you very much, Lemmy. That was very necessary. Jesus Christ, some of these people.
I was going to get there, too.
It's really the lack of originality more than anything else.
Well, just imagine sticking up for that person. Come on.
Right, exactly.
You can do better. It's okay.
We heard ya. Fauci's pangolin. Aaron, did you get hit on top of the head with a giant hammer or rager? Dagger? Rager? Rag?
I'm going to guess he meant to say rager.
No, I think he meant the N-word. There we go. Okay.
See, that would have made sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
That could happen.
Shane M says, ditch the gopher gear. The next time they win anything will be the first time. Thanks for the $10, buddy. I appreciate that. And also, what else am I supposed to get? What can I wear? I can't wear Viking shit.
You can't wear steel toe stuff. You can't wear Viking shit. You can't wear gopher shit. What is left? Wrestling shirts?
I wore a Death Row Records t-shirt this morning.
It was very cool.
It's a very cool Death Row
In
Records
fact,
shirt,
I have a shirt of my own to look up later.
Stevie J says, Elisa Jordana can unhinge her jaw and eat a whole cheeseburger. It's pretty cool. I believe I've seen that trick. And, of course, goodbye to Kyle. He says, love y'all, but I got to go get high and do my shit.
Bye, Kyle.
May I ask you, Kyle, that maybe next time, maybe you try. And look, I'm not telling you how to do your show. Maybe you do your show first, then you get high. Just a suggestion. I'm not saying that's what you have to do. Take it under advisement. Tell me what you think, and then report back.
But you wouldn't get the same product, though.
That's true.
You'd almost miss it.
And you're right.
Exactly.
You're right. All right, guys, we are back to goals on a regular basis now. What are you going to do? 195 away for tonight. Thank you guys very much. There is, of course, 30 minutes of overtime tied to that. There's all the links in the chat there and pinned to the top of the page. If you'd like to contribute to this wonderful program, Unique says never. Okay.
See?
Look, like I said, it's not. I'm not trying to tell the guy what to do.
Who are you, his dad?
I ain't your pappy.
Exactly. You'd miss what Kyle is now if he changed anything.
That's true. You don't change a brand once it becomes.
I very much enjoy his clips.
Once it becomes a thing, you don't change your whole gimmick. Citizen M says there's no excuse for Elisa simping. I love Brittany Venti's body. Didn't stop me from reporting her to the FBI for favoriting January 6th tweets. That's a terrible thing to do to anybody. Jesus.
Brittany's got some big old tits on her, that's for sure.
Oh,
it's a lot to report.
Brittany Venti has some giant tits. You're going to be on with those giant tits pretty soon.
I am, pretty soon.
I dare you to fucking say something to Brittany about her giant bags.
I have some class to me.
Come on.
I would never say it right to her face.
So you'll say it here, but you won't say it anywhere else.
Right, because I know she's not watching.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
Why did we move on from Ashton Birdie, though? Isn't she cute?
Yeah, I thought that Citizen M was a big Ashton Birdie guy. Now, I've heard she's out of her fucking mind. And when I saw her on Content House, I told April right away, I go, this chick's a walking red flag.
Maybe he, blew his shot or something.
Yeah, maybe he took a swing and he missed. But you know what? It's better to swing and miss than never take the bat off your shoulder.
Your lips to God's ears.
That's what I say.
Good rule to live by.
Sam says, Aaron, just take your shirt off already. We want to see your tits.
Do it.
Nice. Unique says, I don't make my money from live streaming. By the way, Brittany Venti is my dream girl. So there we go. We got a couple people in the chat who are Brittany Venti simps. What was the eye roll?
Well, clearly, okay, he hates my hair and stuff. Now I know what I need to look like to get on Kyle's good side.
You got to have old, big, heavy tits and Guido hair.
Big old hangers and some real...
Guinea curls.
Guinea curls?
Those are guinea curls. Those
are they
Italian.
really? That's not what I would have called them.
Those are whoppy curls if I've ever seen them.
All right.
April.
I think I need to be tanner too.
You can be April
like
if you want. You can be April if you want to. Oh, more tan. I thought you were changing your name.
No.
Sorry. Nice Crow Tim says April must be wearing camo. All I see is a floating head.
Oh my God, I definitely don't have tits tonight. They're gone.
They're all gone.
Sorry.
D. Gulag says Ashton Birdie is gorgeous, but she's a nut house. I would agree. You stream for 20 minutes. Now they're having a back and forth with Kyle. That's wonderful. This ultra low latency thing is going to fuck with me because I
don't like it.
It's going really, really fast. On your Twitter, the Royce shout out. I have not seen it yet, but thank you. Venti looks like she smells. Oh. Why?
It's just mean.
Why? Another person saying Kyle is the Johnny Carson of our time.
I really do love him. He kept me a lot of company on my drives hunting this year.
He says she's half black. LOL, she got a boyfriend now, though she's hiding. I come to my audience and I come to Kyle to get all caught up on Brittany Venti gossip.
I know.
I had no idea any of these things were happening. I thought those were for sure just Dago curls. I didn't think she was half and half.
No, you see, I definitely would have said half and half. That's what I thought.
You become so conservative being, you'd think you'd.
You go through some hard times. Life changes you.
Death hard times, baby. When you got curly ass hair and people can't tell you if you're a wop or a Negro. Death hard times, daddy.
Sure is.
You go to the pay window and you don't know if you should buy bigger broth for your big titties or a new iron for your curly hair. Death hard times, Ric Flair. I believe that's what the American dream would say about Brittany Venti. Her mom's mom was a quarter black. Oh, that doesn't count. That's like April being Navajo or whatever the fuck her dad.
Cherokee.
But Cherokee.
Thank you very much.
Everybody's Cherokee. You're not even black. You can't say you're Cherokee. Everybody.
I don't think Cherokees are black.
It's like Paul. Well, they all say they are. It's like Paul Mooney said on Chappelle's show. Everybody wants to be an. Don't nobody want to be an. If you will.
Sometimes I do. Aaron hates me for it.
You guys know. Elizabeth Warren is Navajo. No, she's a Naho. She's none of it.
I heard she was related to Pocahontas.
That's what I've heard too. All right, we've got a lot to talk about tonight, guys. So the ultra low latency thing caught up. So they're good now. There's no complaints of buffering, anything like that. Our chat is moving far too fast for me to handle. I'm very intimidated, but I'll adapt. I'll adjust. Unique says, I give you the N-word pass, by the way.
Which one, me or him?
Who are you more excited to get?
I was pretty excited.
You were excited to get it.
I might burn it this Saturday.
Jesus.
As long as there's no cameras rolling.
Good Lord. I like to burn it in private the way us white men are supposed to speak.
Hey, a real good question quick before Kyle leaves. Has he met Shaka yet? And he says Kyle, both, by the way.
Kyle, you may take away my N-word pass after this. I have, we went to an antique store not long ago, and I found a toy that I thought was just lovely. And I'm going to show this to Kyle. He asks if it's Shaka Khan. No, I've named him Shaka Zulu after one of my favorite warlords in history. Napoleon, Shaka Zulu, and I won't say the third one because Patton would be the third one. I won't say the fourth one because it would be too hard to explain. And he tried to kill Hitler, so he's not a bad guy.
Right, he can't be.
It's Erwin Rommel. So anyway, here's this is Shaka Zulu before we go. It's a collectible. It's just a nice collectible. He likes to dance. Oh, sorry.
What does Shaka want to say to Kyle?
I don't want to do the Shaka voice.
Yes, you do.
Oh, Lord, I sure is do love Mr. Kyle's show, yes. He goes on, he talks about that Brendan Schaub. He's on there talking about that Chris D'Elia, telling everybody how stupid and shitty they are. Oh, boy, I could soft shoe for Mr. Kyle all day long. I could. All right. Kyle says, so you have that around your house. No, solely in the studio. I love him.
Oh, he probably hasn't seen my my
Valentine's Day cards. No,
I'm gonna pull it out for him sometime. Kyle, come back someday. I'll keep it down here for you.
Robert says, what is Shaka's slave name, Toby? Shaka's not a slave. We're not slaves. We work this land. We're freed men. Well, then you freed men will have the honor for fighting for the king and his crown, won't you? All right. I got a lot of things to talk about tonight, guys. We're sitting here fucking around, having fun. That's the cracker nutcracker, says Unique. No, he's just my friend.
No, he's just a dancing friend we have.
He's just my friend.
It's very nice.
All right. He keeps him in studio because someone's got to work in there. Oh, for God's sake.
Shaka preps all the shows now.
Everyone just made me show a black guy my blackface toy that I have.
I thought you said it was just a nice, lovely dancing black man.
That's all it is for me. It's all it is for me. All right, we've got a bunch of things to talk about. Number one, let's caulk off a little bit here to start the show tonight.
Yes, we're kind of celebrating.
The two things happened recently. Well, three things. I mean, we've been doing good shows. That's always nice. But number one, we did the Anthony Cumia interview, and it's gone incredibly well. It's pushing 30,000 views at this point. I'm very happy about that. And then we've been gaining a lot of subs from that, which means people are enjoying it. That's nice. And then the other one, Alex Stein shared one of our most recent videos, and that's helped us out quite a bit.
Yes.
we crossed over 8,000 subs today. I wanted it to happen during the show. It didn't happen during the show. Instead, it happened sometime this afternoon. We're over 8,000 subs. And now what I'd like to do is I'd like to call my next shot, if I could.
I think you should. I'm
going to call my shot. You know, like Babe Ruth pointed to center field during the World Series. I'm going to knock it out of the park. I'm calling my shot. I'm going to hit a home run. Next shot. He's at 8,970 subs at the moment. By this, you know what? Let's see. 800. By the end of February, we catch Kevin Brennan and Misery Loves Company.
Oh, man.
By the end of February, we catch and pass Kevin Brennan and Misery Loves Company. Now, 10,000 by the summer is looking far and away like not just a possibility, but a predetermined conclusion.
It's coming.
At this point. So we're over, I think we're 8,020 or something like that at this point. Again, the next one is catching Kevin Brennan, passing Kevin Brennan and Misery Loves Company. That will happen soon enough. 8,014 is the official number right now. So, again, 8,000 today. That is awesome. It seems like just yesterday we were passing 7K. So that's very cool. Lorax Adam Comedy says, like Paul Heyman says, it's not a prediction, it's a spoiler.
Yeah.
I like that.
Royce's shout-outs today, too, and sending people over here. That's a big help.
Royce's shout-outs helped big time. We probably grabbed about 100 from that. Thank you very much to Royce and then the Daywave crew and all of that stuff.
They're coming in fast.
So 8,000. Mindblown Watcher says, hashtag crush Brennan. Crush him. Finish him off. Passing him within the next month and a half.
It's kind of a big deal. It really is. Like, he's been a very successful man.
So we're going, well, easy on very. So we're going to get to 9,000 pretty soon, then 10,000. We're just going to leave Kevin in the dust, and he can yell and scream about that. I'm very much looking forward to that. You're welcome, Aaron. That was all my doing. Oh, thank you. Pontiva says, good job on Who Are These Podcasts this week. Just listened. Yeah, Matt Groove says, well done, guys, but MLC is a pretty pathetic benchmark. Now, look, I'm not saying that should be our be-all and end-all. No. I'm just saying that's the next step. That's the next shot that we're taking.
Small goals to get to the bigger
right.
thing.
It's okay. When you beat level 2 in Mario, you haven't beaten the game. It's just on to the next one.
We're beating the little bosses along the way.
Yeah, these are little bosses. Stevie Lou says, this is like Hogan versus Warrior for me. I'd better be the Hulkster. Thanks says, what about Camel Toe? I'm just saying he does a lot of shows. Yeah, I don't think that's the insult that it's intended to be. But what does April think about Carl? April, your thoughts?
Oh, I very much said it this morning in chat. I think you skipped it. I said I think Carl and Aaron are conspiring against me to create their own show. Leave me in the dust.
Oh, shit. I will say that it pains me to bring this up. The subreddit over at Carl's show and Dabblers Anonymous.
Is it bad?
No, it's not bad.
Okay.
These people, it's embarrassing. They have zero sense of like sarcasm or humor. They actually posted clips from last night thinking that we were upset with Carl and that we weren't going to DabbleCon because of Carl.
I'm the one who said that too.
It's just, they actually thought that we were being serious when we said that last night.
No, I sure was.
They posted it as, see, DabbleCon's gonna fail. Look, they won't even go because of Carl. And
seriously, Steel Toe is not going, so DabbleCon fails. We're like the least involved with Dabble, like the Dabbleverse.
Somebody on Reddit had it right. They go, Steel Toe wasn't even invited at first. They just said they were going, and then Shuli said, no, tickets are on me. Come to DabbleCon. Like that, come hang out with us.
That was like a courtesy, like an obligation from a friend.
Right. That was all it was. Like we were an afterthought for DabbleCon. So when we couldn't go, it wasn't like, Oates isn't showing up for the Hall & Oates show, although that even would be recoverable. So they put that up there as like oh my God, can you believe it? It's all falling apart. They actually thought that we had beef with Carl and that you two actually hate. Oh,
I have beef with Carl.
You're sticking with it.
I'm sticking with it. Fucking guy. Maybe I'm going to keep his package instead of send it tomorrow.
That piece of shit, Carl. Yeah, we got merch for him we're going to send over. I don't think we're going to send it over anymore. Remember, Reddit, we hate Carl.
No, I'm going to send it. I had Aaron shit in it first.
That's right, because we're not going to DabbleCon, not because of our own personal things, but because we hate Carl. If it were just Shuli, we'd be there in a heartbeat. But because we hate Carl so much... we're not going to be a DabbleCon.
It's too much fun.
You know what's not fun, though? You do a fun show. You do lighthearted shitting on your friends. And because Reddit is full of autism with a lack of sense of humor, you have to explain the joke.
Right. I don't want to pull back the curtain.
And these people think that they're the smart ones.
Maybe they're onto something.
Wow.
Yes, speaking of his package, like little housekeeping for me, I have anything from the last orders all packaged up, getting shipped in the morning. So
yeah, Dabbler's Unanimous
all
says,
good.
He says they're going to clip this now. Oh, I know. That's why I'm saying it. So they'll clip it. Thank you to Happy Plague Doctor for a $5 super chat. He says, I should park the cars in the shape of the Windmill of Peace when I get done plowing tomorrow. Absolutely.
The Windmill of Peace.
190. Away from tonight's goal. If we hit that, we do an extra half hour of show. So thank you very much. If you feel like chipping in, there is the Streamlabs and PayPal link in the chat. Otherwise, it's pinned to the top of the page as well. We appreciate your guys' contributions. Now, I have the Crowder thing. We can watch the Crowder thing. Now, it's a half hour long, but I can skip about 5 minutes at the beginning. So it's still going to be a pretty long thing. I've only gotten about 10 minutes into the Crowder thing. Crowder broke his silence today, and I wonder how much of the audience is interested in that.
You could do a poll. You could do a poll, or you could do overtime.
We could either do Crowder for overtime, or we could do Crowder kind of at the beginning tonight and cover that first. Do you want to cover Crowder's return? We could go now. We could go overtime, or we could go not at all. All right, let's see this. I will say a teaser for the Crowder thing. A lot of the things we said about Crowder and the contracts and everything like that turned out to be absolutely true.
Okay, so he didn't. Okay,
he
told
fucked
everything.
himself hard on the contract thing.
Got it.
Really bad.
He was just excited to get in there.
Yeah. Chad's Futon with $5 says, please tell Chad to wash my sheets. Oh, no.
Oh, it stinks.
Oh, he could take him to his mom, but he doesn't have one anymore. That's what they would... What? That's true. That's just a fact.
Ouch.
185 away from tonight's goal. Thank you guys very much for the support. All right, here's where we're at. We're at 64% now, 14% overtime, 20% not at all. So it looks like they want to do Crowder now. 2/3 of them do. Scooby Jew says it's pretty boring. I watched most of it and turned it off. Look, I'm 8 minutes in. There is some stuff in there that I find interesting. If you don't mind me, I don't know, kind of explaining it a little bit, because I've been on not Crowder's end of these contract things, but I've been on the end where you like have to fight for your ownership of your shit. And I can kind of tell you where Crowder went wrong and where he fucked up, and, you know, where a show as small as this one even knew to hold on to all of its stuff and hold on to all of its rights and keep its autonomy about it. And Crowder did not do that. Yeah, there's a lot of fuck ups in that contract.
It's too bad.
Zero Dark Tony with $9.99 says, congrats on the 8K. I predict 10K by June. Well, thank you, buddy. That's very nice. And it also puts us 175 away. All right. Here's what the poll says so far. 108 votes in. 57% want it now. 19% want it in overtime. So 75% of the audience wants it. Another quarter doesn't want to do it at all. So I think that clearly means that we should be checking out the Crowder thing. All right. So we'll end that. And we'll bring it up now. So, Steven Crowder, done with the Blaze. He and Glenn Beck had some kind of falling out. Spoiler alert, he does not go into exactly what happened here. He doesn't go into full on, bridges burned mode. He doesn't go into, scorch the earth, anything like that. He does, and here's what I've always disliked about Crowder. He does threaten that. Mm-hmm. He does hint at that. And he does do the what do you call that? The cloak and dagger thing where he's like, there's a lot of people in conservative media that you can't trust, and I might just come out and tell you. And then plugs his new mug club thing and all.
He's threatening and insinuating.
Yeah, I've always hated that about Crowder because every time Crowder goes, I'm going to tell all. I'm going to let it all out there. He never does.
Right.
He bullshits. He gets a few more people to buy his mug club.
We're edging.
And then, he goes back and just does his show and talks about the Supreme Court and shit.
Well, it keeps people coming back in case he slips something here and there.
So Crowder's on, the post-Blaze thing now. And I don't know if I should read too much into this or not, but there's no Dave Landau here. There's no producers. None of his team is talking or on camera for this whole thing. So I'm guessing those guys aren't with Crowder as of right now.
Maybe. Unless they weren't on board with him doing this.
Yeah, that would be my guess. He does the thing where he teases a bunch of shit, but then won't say it. And I got to say, as a broadcaster, I really hate that. I think that's absolute horseshit. You've said nothing to your audience for almost a month now. And when you come back, you're very vague and you don't tell them anything. The other thing I'm kind of hoping for is that maybe this is the moment that hardens Steven Crowder and he stops being such a bitch. Like he stops being such a, 1 foot in wacky, hacky political commentary guy and then 1 foot in shock jock territory. Yeah. Either go for it and say what you want to say and do what you want to do, or do your political commentary and do like a Rush Limbaugh style show. Don't try to do this middle of the road shit where you're like, oh, I'm a loose cannon, I'll say anything, and then, get a blocked trigger finger.
I just hate the teasing.
Right. I hoped that this would be the moment that would harden him the fuck up because he already sold himself out. He already gave away everything to that contract. So now it's just you. You can do it on your own and you can motherfuck anybody who wasn't loyal. You can motherfuck anybody that, you think is bullshit or fake or phony. He hasn't done that yet. And I don't know if he's really going to do it. So here's Crowder with his latest video. It's called It's Time to Stop. It is time to stop now?
I guess so.
Mac?
Maybe.
So here he is explaining the Blaze thing.
So stopbigcon.com now exists to begin with. It's been a while.
By the way, I'll spoil it for you. If you go to stopbigcon.com, I don't think you can do anything on it unless you give him your email to say you'll sign up for Mug Club.
He needs it first, yeah.
So I thought I'd go to this Stop Big Con and I'd find all of this, this dirt, what really happened, all of this stuff. And the first thing it did, hey, come be a member of the new Mug Club. What's your email address, fella? I'm like, I just kind of wanted to read the shit and see what was going on. And nope, it's all a grift. It's all a grift. I'm really hoping that coming out of this Blaze thing, Crowder will be different.
It doesn't seem that way yet, from what I'm hearing.
No.
Either this has to stop, or I'm going to have to stop. Either this, what I'm about to discuss, has to stop, or I don't know. This.
By the way, what he's holding is his contract. And this idea that this has to stop. Motherfucker, you signed it. I hate this about everybody who signs some shit and then bitches later. Like when something goes wrong with their phone. Something as simple as a phone agreement.
The small print.
Asshole, you signed it away.
You were excited when you got there.
You were excited when you got it. Now it went south, and now you're going, I'm a victim. This needs to stop, or I have to stop. First of all, don't threaten us. Just go away then. There's plenty of Crowders out there. This has to stop, or I have to stop. Everything's so dramatic. I think the reason the guy dresses up like a woman so much is because he kind of acts and thinks like one.
He feels like one.
Either this has to stop, or I have to stop. What, the thing you put your name on? The thing you signed over to Glenn Beck?
Maybe I'm missing something, but isn't it over now? Like the contract thing is over? It's done?
He's going to talk about the things he's not allowed to do now.
Oh.
Because of what he signed over.
Well, you signed it. I don't think you get to bitch when you agreed to something.
Right.
Come on.
This may just not be for me anymore. So let me explain. Give me a few minutes of your time because context matters here. I ask that you don't skip ahead. Won't take very long.
We're going to skip ahead, by the way, because it's going to take a long time.
This has been a long time coming. This is a conversation that I've actively avoided, sidestepped, and I've hoped and prayed that it not be necessary behind the scenes for a long while, but that's no longer possible.
Let me tell you what that means. And you know, I'm kind of in a special situation because I've worked in broadcasting. I've worked for a media company that had a similar situation with me. Luckily, unlike Crowder, I have the trademark to my program. I have all I have most of the library, what I could get off their computer.
All the socials and
the socials and everything else. So I didn't have to deal with what Crowder had to deal with. But I know what he's dealing with because I didn't deal with it. He's been behind the scenes begging the Blaze to go back on some of the contract items so he can rebuild his brand.
Yes.
Because remember, he doesn't have access to the Mug Club.
No, you have to reach out to him, I think.
He signed away that to the Blaze, and the Blaze had all the Mug Club people. So he can't rebuild his monetization portion of his business, which, let's not be coy about it, it's very important to him. If he can't get those names from the Blaze, people have to come to him. And no matter how popular Crowder is, he's probably changed his lifestyle based on how many Mug Club people he had.
Oh, for sure. It was a lot.
No matter how loyal these people are, and I know this because we've gone from different platforms before, you are going to lose people when you move platforms.
It's work.
Maybe not all time. I mean, we gained them all back and then some. We hit 50,000 unique viewers in a month for the first time ever in this show's history this month. That's awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Humble brag. But with Crowder, what he's trying to say here is he's been fighting with the Blaze. He hasn't been saying anything shitty about the Blaze because he wants to get his stuff back.
Yep.
He sold away his merch, you're going to find out in a little bit. He sold away the Mug Club. He sold away the list, all of that stuff.
That's brutal.
So he did all that. He's been arguing with the Blaze, and the Blaze doesn't have to negotiate with Crowder. The Blaze can just say, no, I have the contract. We're going to stick to the contract. You can't even sue me over this.
You signed it.
It'll be thrown out in a heartbeat. So go ahead, do what you want to do. So Crowder's now doing baby boy tantrum thing where he goes, well, you know what? I didn't want to talk shit about these guys, but now I'm going to talk shit about them. And do you think he's going to talk a lot of shit about them?
I don't. I think he'll probably just tease it again. Like he teases everything.
Join my Mug Club and then I'll really let loose.
And then it never happens anyways.
Right. So,
okay.
But the Blaze, you got to remember, the Blaze accounted for this. When they decided to it's very clear now, by the way, that they let Crowder go. Crowder didn't leave.
It doesn't seem like he'd want to go.
It sounds like they let Crowder go. So, to me, what it seems like is Crowder complained, Crowder stomped his feet and held his breath and said, I want. And the Blaze went, fuck you, pal, we got a contract. Mm-hmm. And you know, Glenn Beck's been playing this game for a long time, and he came up in old school radio, so he knows how radio executives fuck people and hammer. So Glenn Beck is not new to this game. You're not going to get one over on Glenn Beck in business.
Not a chance.
All right, the guy knows the business like the back of his hand. So Crowder held his breath and stomped his feet and said, give me all my shit back. And Glenn Beck went, I have a counteroffer. Go fuck yourself.
No.
And then Crowder went, I'm going to tell everyone that you suck. And he's like, yeah, when we let you go, we figured you were going to tell people we suck. That's baked into the pie. I've been doing radio for 40 years, if you're Glenn Beck. I kind of know these things. Well, now Crowder feels backed into a corner. He has to rebuild. He's scared. He's terrified. He should be. And he's going to lash out. Or is he?
So if you've watched for the last decade, you know that I've always made it clear that we here at Mug Club are in the business of serving you, the viewer, you watching, listening right now. I've also made it clear that I wouldn't be in the business of attacking other conservatives, regardless of disagreements or personal issues. And I've always...
And by the way, that's the problem with this entire country. I'm a conservative, and I won't attack other conservatives. I'll attack a conservative. I'll attack a liberal. I'll attack Mother Teresa, for fuck's sake. I don't care. If I think they're fucking up or they're doing something stupid or we can exploit it for comedy, I'm going to talk about it. These stupid allegiances that these guys have, like they're the tribes of Braveheart.
I very much treat people on an individual basis.
Right.
As you should.
I'll call Ben Shapiro a yarmulke-wearing Jew if I think it's funny. That's not even a derogatory thing to say. He's literally a yarmulke-wearing Jew.
It's just true.
But Crowder, I won't go after. I said I wouldn't go after. Well, there's two things wrong with that. One, that's a dumb fucking philosophy. And number two, now you're about to go back on it. So now not only do you have a dumb philosophy, but you're also disloyal. That's good.
To explain my logic was relatively simple. I believe that the world was better with more voices out there rather than less, regardless of minute differences, considering the magnitude of the battle that we are genuinely fighting for our country right now.
But all you guys are doing when you don't criticize each other is poisoning people's brains to one side or poisoning people's brains to another, because you're not telling them the truth. You're not telling them who you really are. You're going, well, we're a team, so we're going to get together and get the pre-approved message and then send that out to people all nice and sanitized.
And then people can't have real conversations when it's like that.
I don't trust a guy like that.
Nope.
But for the first time, I have to say that I believe many of those in charge in the right-leaning media are actually at odds with what's best for you, the viewer, the customer, and more importantly, the country.
Just say Glenn Beck.
Just Glenn
Fucking
Beck.
hell, Crowder. But do you see what I mean by I can't respect this guy until he decides he's going to say what he wants to say?
Of course. It's
just say Glenn Beck. Why would he have any reason to say anyone else's name other than Glenn Beck? He didn't fuck you over, but in your mind, he fucked you over. He took your name. He took your mug club. You're mad at him. You're upset. I think some in the right-leaning media aren't looking out for you. Oh, that's interesting. Let's look through the record. Look, a disgruntled former employee of the Blaze. Oh, the Blaze kept all of his naming rights and mug club shit. I wonder who he could be. Probably talking about Ben Shapiro over at the Daily Wire.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You know who he's probably talking about? Royce Lopez.
Oh, Aaron Imholt. What?
We here at Mug Club, we thought that we were all in this together, that we were fighting the media, entertainment, industrial complex. We thought that we were all genuinely taking it to big tech. But too many of those in charge of the big conservative platforms are verifiably in bed with them.
Oh.
Big tech is in bed with Big Con. The people you thought.
Oh, so he's trying to get a thing started now. Big conservative is Big Con, and they're in bed with YouTube, and they're in bed with Facebook, and
media, you know.
Yeah, fuck Glenn Beck for wanting to have a working relationship with places that, get his name out there.
Make him money.
Make him money. Yes, of course. What a piece of shit. And just say Glenn Beck. Liberate yourself, Steven.
I never understand people that have beef with someone, but they refuse to say their name. Like, we all know what you're talking about. It's okay.
Gary Hoppy of Tri-County Broadcasting is a fucking asshole retard who couldn't find his asshole with two hands and a flashlight. There's no ambiguity about that statement. You know who I'm talking about. You know how I feel.
God, that list could go on and on about him.
Certainly could. Steven Crowder, we all know he's talking about the Blaze, but there's this, mysterious boogeyman of Big Con that's in there. Look, here's another thing I don't respect about Crowder. When the checks from Big Con stopped coming, now all of a sudden Crowder's knives are out for it. What did this Big Con thing did you just have this epiphany 2 weeks ago? Did this just start happening now? Or were you sucking at the teat of Big Con, cashing all its paychecks, buying bigger houses, cocking off about how big your audience was? Were you enjoying all the benefits of Big Con, and then once Big Con cut you loose, you went, well, they're the real enemy? Well, that only tells me one thing. Steven Crowder has no dignity. He has no decency. He has no morals. He's not honest. Because Crowder, like a mercenary, will be very loyal to you until the checks stop being cashed. Then he'll call you Big Con.
I hate to say it, but I feel like that's most people. And I also hate to say this, but I'm guessing that email I'm sending is not going to matter anymore.
Look, guys, I let you in behind the curtain a little bit to let you know how honest your host is. Crowder said that he wanted somebody to interview him about this, and I told April, send that email.
I've got the email that I needed for him directly, and this isn't going to fly now.
Send the email.
Okay.
Send it.
All right.
They can watch this, and maybe they'll go, wow, if I can win this guy over, I can win anybody over.
Okay.
Because this guy is really shitting on me.
Okay, then maybe if Steven is listening, he can
Yes.
come on here and defend himself.
Call in now. But you said that a lot of people do this. Like once they get fired and the checks stop being cashed, then they turn. Now, in fairness to me, I've always said that Gary Hoppy was a rat fuck piece of shit who didn't know what the hell he was doing, even when the checks were clearing.
Yeah, but you're the exception, not the rule.
Thank you, baby. That's very sweet of you.
God.
You heard it here.
You know what? You're welcome.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. April thinks I'm unique. Not Kyle.
You're Kyle now?
No.
God, I always wanted to,
Easy, yo.
The people I thought were fighting for you,
As long as the
a
checks
lot of
were
it has
cashed.
been a big con. Now, I'm specifically avoiding naming names or going after individuals.
Just say Glenn. This video should be titled "Just Say Glenn Beck."
I'm having a retarded moment. Are you sure when he says big con, you think it means conservative?
Conservative. He's doing a play on conservative. He's saying all these conservative media people.
He says it sometimes like they're conning people, though.
That's the play on words that. Yes, April. That's
well, it's
the
going both ways.
gimmick.
Then.
That he's doing a double thing. Like cock, rooster.
No,
and
I got
dick.
that. I just clarified
In this video, because I genuinely hope that those I'm addressing, and you know who you are, have a change of heart. It's never.
I hope you have a change of heart. You're clearly talking about Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck is sitting there going, Steven, he's watching this video. He's 2.5 minutes in. He's going, Steven, I'm not giving you your name back.
Jesus.
I'm not giving you your merch back. And you can just say my name. Like, everybody knows who you're talking about.
From a human standpoint, I get Crowder being absolutely pissed at this. You're pissed at the wrong person, though. You should be pissed at you because you
Right.
signed this, okay?
Well, that's...
I get the being pissed that you can't have your merch anymore. Like, if I've suddenly got to, redo all my merch and our logos and shit because I don't own it, that's stressful and a lot of work.
It's like the movie Cobb, where the writer who's writing Cobb's book finds out that he doesn't have full editorial control and that Cobb negotiated editorial control for himself.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, Cobb, you son of a bitch, and blah, blah, blah. He goes, why are you mad at me, Stumpy? The man you should be mad at is Al Stump. And he's right. He goes, you didn't double check the deal because you're a very trusting soul. And that's Crowder. Crowder said, ooh, the Blaze. Crowder has this lack of confidence in himself that is so glaring because he's big enough to do it on his own.
Well, yeah. He could rule any platform he went to.
But he won't. He went to the
should.
Blaze. Not only did he go to the Blaze, Crowder was in a position to go to the Blaze and say, you want me? I get to do independent shit. I get all my naming. I get all this. You basically get the Crowder name while I'm on the air on your platform. And then once that show's over, it all reverts back to me. Instead, he signed his life over to Glenn Beck because deep down inside of Crowder, there is an insecure boy who doesn't think he can do this. He has a bad case of inner fraud.
Yeah, I always viewed him as probably somebody who is just so excited, foaming at the mouth to get on something and get signed somewhere that he didn't even think to negotiate.
And I think you're right. Steven Crowder's mad at the Blaze and he won't say it. But the man he should be mad at is Steven Crowder.
Yes, you didn't negotiate for you.
Never too late to do the right thing. Guys, this is a genuine plea. We can all do better. We can all do better. It doesn't have to be this way. And please, don't make me have to provide receipts.
What a piece of shit.
I feel like if you're asking all of this of all of these people, you should be giving receipts.
Right. Please, guys, don't make me give receipts. So in other words, that's a blackmail.
When we ask people to follow the show from radio and then not only from radio to Twitch, but from Twitch to another platform, that's asking a lot, and we were pretty transparent the whole time.
Yeah. Well, and with Crowder here, he's going, please, guys, don't make me provide receipts. What do you mean? They're not going to make you. Either you want to talk shit about them and show them stuff they would rather the public didn't see, or you won't. What you're saying is, hey, you know that shitty deal I signed with you? Go back on most of it, give me what I want, and I won't say horrible, horrific things about you.
Well, yeah, it was a tough guy statement.
But it's like I said before, you don't think Glenn Beck baked into this pie the fact that Crowder was probably going to talk shit about him? He's probably okay with it.
He is kind of a king of talking shit.
Yes, this is a desperate attempt by Steven to try to get his way because he got outworked in business. This is not Steven dealing from a position of strength. You look at the guy, he looks like he's been up for 5 days in a row. Mm-hmm. He's got none of his staff with him.
He needs 2 cups of coffee.
He's got 2 mugs there. Well, that's because he's got such a surplus of mugs right now because he can't get them out to anybody. He doesn't have his mailing list.
No energy to put that holster on today.
Oh, no, he couldn't even get his shoulder holster on.
Man.
But if you think this is a sign of strength from Crowder, it's not. It's a desperate last-ditch effort to try and keep this thing going on the fly. Steven, there's a level of rebuilding you're going to have to do. Don't be afraid of it. Downsize until, you get back there again. You'll be okay in time.
The others out there who have now been able to verify have been locked into exploitative contracts that I have the luxury of not having to sign, which is why I'm doing this. Those of you out there who've been locked into this and you know what I'm talking about, stay tuned. I've got something for you before this video is done.
All right, so now we're going to fast forward to about 7.5 because he goes on and on and on and on and on. And woe is me, this and that. We'll watch a few more minutes of this. Otherwise, it's 28 minutes long. I can't put you through all of this. We got more show to do tonight. But so far, this sounds like Crowder is whining. Mm-hmm. This sounds like Crowder is begging to get his stuff back. And again, I'm very confused by this whole rant because I'm sitting here going, you keep doing this game where you go, and you know who I'm talking about. And no, I don't. Tell me and explain and get after him.
Pretend I'm new to this and like I want to join your side. What happened?
Explain it to me like I'm a 10-year-old. And then he goes, these people locked in these exploitative contracts. You know who you are. No, name names. Tell us. Yeah, they know who they are. Your audience doesn't.
Are immoral terms that actually punish conservative content creators on behalf of big tech.
Then don't fucking sign it.
It seems so simple.
Go to your YouTube channel. Go to your Rumble channel. Make millions of dollars a year on your mug club.
But then you see what
Fuck him.
But then you see what he does with like his YouTube channel and shit too. He wants to fight YouTube and like the bigwigs at YouTube because they don't treat him right.
And then he wonders why they don't treat him right.
I know.
Oh
God.
Don't you have a manager?
He keeps hurting himself.
Crowder, really? I know you like to pitch yourself as like a, like a family business, and you got your dad running. It's time to get your dad out of the business. It's time to get a real manager. Find yourself a Jew, Crowder. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Find yourself someone with some muscle in the industry, if you will. But the guy's sitting there going, and these exploitative contracts, and they're in bed with the big creators and big tech. Well, then don't sign the deal.
There.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And that's something that I just couldn't unsee. And I want to let you know, it's not the exception. It's the rule. Kids out there coming up. We need to build a bench here in this movement. It's almost impossible. Don't sign these contracts.
Sounds like grooming, by the way.
That is weird. Like when you
kids,
bring up
we need to build a bench. What if a priest would have said that?
Why do we need a bench, sir?
To kneel to. That's what. So now he's going to hold up his contract and bitch about his contract, while meanwhile not telling us who he's talking about, but holding up his contract. Who the fuck did you sign a contract with?
When you're going to do something like this, shouldn't you always pretend that somebody is new to this topic?
Yes.
Just so we know.
I now know what you are signing out there. I have the luxury of not having to. I don't have to be here. I don't have to say this. Please, don't sign this. Certainly not without professional legal counsel representation. Do not sign.
You're a millionaire, and you don't have professional legal counsel. Do you know why The Blaze has these really punitive contracts for their creators?
Why is that, Aaron?
Because I got bad news for you, Crowder. These conservative content creators are a dime a dozen, and they're all foaming at the mouth to get the platform that is The Blaze on their side. Mm-hmm. So they will sign it. It's supply and demand. If The Blaze demands 2 content creators and 5,000 YouTubers show up, The Blaze can hold them to whatever slave-like conditions they want. And guess what? Out of those 4,000, 3,500 of them will sign the fucking thing.
All day.
So, I don't know why Crowder is so upset with other people. He should be mad at himself, and it seems like he's passing that anger on down the line.
That's what I keep saying. He's just upset with the decisions he's made because now it's biting him in the ass.
Yes.
Find something that includes, let me go through this.
This is like when Lenny Bruce went nuts and he started reading his court cases on stage. Now he's reading his fucking contract on his show.
Shouldn't we probably not do this?
Merch rights, Okay, so it's the Blaze. Blaze will maintain the exclusive rights to create and sell Crowder and Jimmy Crack Corn, and I don't care. That's a good one, boss. Jimmy Crack Corn, and I don't care. Jimmy Crack Corn, and I don't care. Jimmy Crack Corn, and I don't care. Crowder is a fucking doofus. All right. Blaze will maintain the exclusive right to create and sell Crowder and Crowder content branded merchandise. All remuneration for the blank and exploitation of these rights is included in the fee. So the Blaze owns your merch. Right there, I would not sign that.
What doesn't make sense to me about that is once Crowder is gone, what good is that merch?
He can still use. He could have still used it. The Blaze still owns his merch.
I get that. I'm hearing you, but why own something when the guy's not there anymore? No one's going to buy it.
Because you don't want him to sell it. So he has to come up with all new merch. He can't use the old stuff.
Right. I get
Email list. Blaze will maintain the exclusive right to manage, grow, and monetize all Crowder email lists during the term. All remuneration for the exploitation of these rights is included in the fee. So now while the Blaze can't use that email list anymore because Crowder's not under contract, they don't have to give it to Crowder.
No, they just hang on to it.
That's what he's bitching about. Well, wait a minute. You don't get to use my email list anymore. Why can't I have it back? Because fuck you. We don't want you to take all our people with you.
We don't want you to succeed once you leave these doors.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
Social media management. You will have the right to manage, Blaze will have the right to, exclusive right to manage, curate, and monetize Crowder's official Facebook. YouTube? Oh, no. YouTube. Apple Podcast, Spotify, Snapchat, Rumble, and other social media accounts, excluding Crowder's existing personal Twitter and Instagram accounts during the term. So while this contract was going, Crowder didn't make a fucking dime off any of his socials or video content.
Think about all those videos he made for YouTube.
Stephen, why? Why did you sign this? And I understand the Blaze's
being raped of all of this.
Yes, I understand the Blaze's argument here. We're producing it. We have the staff.
We put you on.
Yeah, I get that. But Crowder was not a small guy when he signed with the Blaze.
No, is this just a case of like the Blaze was a huge name and he's like, oh, I've signed at the Blaze. Like it's like he was in Sartell when it was up in the air.
He didn't want to do it himself.
Ugh.
Additionally, Blaze will have the perpetual and exclusive right to create, own, manage, curate, and monetize any and all social media accounts on any social media or similar platform as determined by blah, 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 on the Crowder content or shows. All remuneration for the exploitation of these rights is included in the fee. So he butt-fucked himself.
Royally. This
Hard.
Is disgusting.
But the man you should be mad at is Al Stump.
For sure, like even just the loss of your YouTube and Rumble profits, ouch, big time.
Even the ones that you've built?
You signed them away.
Don't sign contracts out there that include multi-million-dollar penalties.
Ooh.
For different... Let me read you an example of what I mean.
Uh-oh.
And this would be if it was me. If Crowder fails to deliver a monthly content... in any month or any of the quarterly content in the corner, including any and all ad reads. And by the way, all these contracts came with 3, 4, 5 ad reads per show, which would fundamentally change what this show is. Got to get those dollar bills.
Yeah, right. That's their job. They're a media company. They're not, look, Crowder, this is why you work for yourself. Because then you don't have to say anything you don't believe.
No.
You can do reads for places you like and places you frequent and things like that. You signed up with a major media company. They don't give a shit about your artistic expression. They don't give a shit about the nature of the content. They bought the name. They bought the audience. They bought it for the dollar bills, y'all, if I may quote you. Sounds weird when a Minnesotan and a Canadian talk that way.
I don't like that.
I don't like it either. When in Crowderland, speak as Crowder does. Again, I keep going back to the point. You signed it. What am I missing here?
He's mad at himself and he won't admit it. That's what.
Yes.
That's what you're missing.
Exactly.
He can't admit it.
If I failed to do that, it would be a $250,000 reduction in fee per quarter.
If he didn't do all the reads and didn't deliver monthly content in any month or any of the quarterly content in any quarter, they would take $250,000 that quarter. So if he missed all the quarters, that's $1 million a year.
It was a fuckload of money.
I will ask again. Why did you fucking sign that?
What was it worth it to you?
Why did you sign that contract?
I keep going back to it just had to be the pride of saying I work for the Blaze, with your nose in the air. That to me is the only thing here.
The fee reduction calendar resets each year. Disability. In the event of temporary disability or serious illness that prevents Crowder from performing, the fee will be reduced on a pro rata basis, not subject to the fee reduction schedule above. Time out. Wait a minute.
Oh yeah, you're on to something here.
Do you remember when he claimed that he had fibromyalgia or some shit, and he claimed he was disabled and he couldn't work?
Yeah, I do.
And remember when the Revenge of the Sisses of the world and this show and others were going, I'm pretty sure Crowder's full of shit.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he's faking it. He 100% was faking it now. Because otherwise he would have to pay back those 6 figures.
Well, and didn't it also just say that the fees are not waived if you're disabled or sick? They're just reduced?
They're reduced, right.
So you're still getting fined for not doing your reads.
Motherfucker Crowder is.
If, let's say, we did do everything per quarter, but annually maybe missed something, let's say we went and did a Change My Mind instead of a daily show, which of course requires a lot more work. There'd be a separate $1 million penalty for that if you miss a single piece of content.
Damn.
And the amount of content required is not in line with, frankly, it's worse than Disney. It's worse than ABC. It's worse than NBC. It's worse than CBS.
But you signed it. You signed it. You signed it.
Why?
That is.
Did you sign that?
Ooh, those are steep penalties.
Oh, and fuck the penalties. You shouldn't sign based on that. He didn't get his Mug Club mailing list. He couldn't be in touch with his fans.
This is ownership of you and everything that you do. But
yes.
Just to drive it home, don't sign something that has another $100,000 daily penalty.
Yeah, don't sign that.
If it's not signed off on.
Well, they need you there.
Beforehand.
Okay.
You get hit by a car, you have a sick day, you could lose $100,000 a day.
Don't sign it.
Don't miss work.
If you get hurt and you miss work, it won't hurt to miss work.
Anyone wonder why there's burnout in this? Anyone wonder why you have kids come up and they leave and never to come back? You think if you had that kind of a penalty, you think if someone said, hey, we're going to penalize you $10,000 every day you miss coming into work, you think you'd be stressed?
Oh, is he kind of hinting that the reason his staff people were leaving his show was not because of Crowder, but because of this contract? Okay. Again, I have to read a fucking Rosetta Stone to determine what this guy's saying because he won't just have the balls to come out and say it.
Even if he's telling the truth there, you all still sign the contracts, man.
Right.
You've got to negotiate next time.
Oh, gee, I sure do want to be part of the Blaze. Yeehaw, I love Glenn Beck. Yeah, and you know who knew that? Glenn Beck.
Yes.
And he went, we'll fuck this guy in the ass and he'll thank us for it.
They had him dead to rights the whole time.
Yes.
He didn't care at the beginning.
This is worse than the left frames their contracts. Again, of course I didn't sign any of these things.
This disloyal sack of shit. The left is evil. The progressives are terrible. The minute he signs one shitty contract and the negotiations don't go his way, these people are worse than the left.
I don't think this is a right or left issue, buddy.
Oh, well, he's got to. Yeah, he's got to. You're right. He's got to make everything a right versus left issue.
It's very much just a per the Blaze business.
Stephen, this is business.
But I now know what other kids are signing out there. And here's the worst part. Yeah, that's terrible. I think it's...
so it sounded like he didn't know what he signed.
I just think that's wrong to treat people that way. But
it's not right or wrong. It's an agreement.
Maybe you should just read things before you sign them next time, for God's sake.
This is where, in going through this, and I needed to take some time because, look, I've always tried to be a happy warrior, and I want to go back to that. I haven't been happy for a while. To be really, I haven't been happy for a while because when you know what goes on behind these scenes and you see how many people are complicit,
complicit.
It creates an air of hopelessness.
Okay, this
It
happens
really does.
all over, though.
Yeah.
Where you think the people who are supposed to be linking arms and fighting with you, fighting for you, want to punish you. So here's...
Hey, Crowder, guess what you learned? In your 30s, you learned this? You learned that the guy in front of the microphone who actually believes his bullshit isn't backed up by the suits in the bigger offices? Come on, Count Chocula, grow the fuck up.
Dude, people in tiny little shops like I've worked in understand this, that the people in the office are looking out for the dollars, not for how you feel out there that
You
day.
didn't know that the people who were like the corporate managers at the Blaze weren't all gung-ho for you to fight with YouTube? That maybe Glenn Beck and YouTube wanted to have a decent relationship with YouTube so that they could do business? You didn't know that the people who were counting the beans upstairs didn't want the boat rocked that much? Oh, Steven, I gotta call bullshit. He's lying. He knows he's lying. Yeah. He got his ass kicked. He's desperate, and he's trying to do a woe is me thing.
Yes, he
but
is.
again, your woe is me falls apart when just and even a dumb Crowder fan could understand the question of, Steven, then why'd you sign it? That's it.
We're not even halfway through this video, and it's very clear that he didn't read it first. He was just excited to sign, and he's mad at himself.
He's mad at himself.
He cannot move on from this.
The worst part, do not, kids, under any circumstances, sign a contract with people who claim to be conservative, but will penalize you 25% for any demonetization or sponsor boycott. Look, let me read this to you.
Why? You're Mr. Demonetization. Because they bought your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So if you get your channel demonetized, that's not your channel you're getting demonetized.
It's theirs.
That's Glenn Beck's channel you're getting demonetized. So you're damn right they're going to want some money out of your pocket. You fucked up our channel. You pay for it.
Or how about now you have sponsorship leaving too?
Yeah.
Ouch.
To me, all this speech is telling me is that Glenn Beck is a very good businessman.
I mean, when MyPillow left us because of, the shenanigans we pulled and stuff, all we could do is be mad at ourselves for a little bit.
It.
And we got punished,
If any of the major platforms... Oh, no, sorry, that's the second one. Let me go back to the first one. There's another 20%. It's 45%.
Oh, yeah, don't miss anything that your stupid ass signed and is now complaining about, please.
To get a content strike. Let's start with the demonetization. If blank is boycotted or dropped by more than 50%.
Oh. He didn't black screen this one. Because he said if blank, it's Crowder.
You're right.
If Crowder is boycotted or dropped by more than 50% of his then extant advertising partners, that is 50% of the revenue, and the company is not able to replace them within 90 days, then the fee will be reduced by 25% until such time as that ad revenue has been restored for a period of 90 days. If any of the major platforms issues a content strike such that the Crowder content cannot be monetized on such platform, and the company is not able to resolve the issue within 90 days, the fee will be reduced by 25%. If the Crowder content cannot be released on any of the major platforms because of Crowder or his content being banned from those platforms, then the fee will be reduced by 20% YouTube, 20% Apple, 10% Facebook, 10% Spotify. If I'm the Blaze and I don't want to pay Crowder a lot, all I do is strike the shit out of his channel.
I know, but technically it's your channel.
Who gives a fuck? Now I don't have to pay Crowder that money.
That's true.
This is a dumb fuck deal to sign. This is a great... I bet you when Glenn Beck got this in his inbox and it came with Crowder's signature, he about shit his pants.
I will say Glenn Beck and the Blaze are geniuses.
Geniuses. Glenn Beck looked and he's like, oh, what's the counter offer? Holy shit, is that his signature?
I hope our dear friend Alex Stein reads his a little more carefully.
Well, remember, Alex said he's been talking to the Blaze for a long time and they had to work out a deal where he got to do his independent stuff.
See, that's good. That's smart.
Alex, give us a call. We got to talk. You could make sure you don't sign what Crowder signed.
Of the advertising partners, the company is not able to replace them within 90 days. The fee will be...
I'm going to fast forward about 6 minutes to see where else he goes with this. Then we'll tap out.
...for you with anyone else out there at half the market rate.
Oh, he's so mad.
Yeah.
Why? Because I don't like this, and I'm going to end this. We all need to end this together. I have plenty of friends. I could use a few enemies. There is strength in numbers. And if you, watching right now, right now, if you want a network that you can truly call your own, I just ask that you enter in your email at stopbigcon.com.
Oh, you piece of shit. Ew. No.
That feels so grimy. Oh.
He does this every fucking time. I thought he would learn this time.
I feel like I'm sitting in on an Amway meeting where they just, you can make all this money. You just got to do this, this, and this.
I feel like I'm in an Amway meeting, but first they showed me a cancer patient who's going to die soon and then said, if you don't want this person to die.
Oh my God, you're right.
Oh.
If you don't want this big man to stomp on little homeless kitten heads, you got to give me your email.
This one's on me. I fucked this one up. I got to say this is on me. I really thought that getting canned from the Blaze would maybe make him, I said at the beginning of this video, something would flip in him and he'd do better. No. He's doing the same fucking routine. Wah, 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 wah. It's just like the YouTube shit. I did something that broke the rules. I did something that was against what they told me not to do. Now I'm getting punished for it. Please sign up. So I must be a victim and we need to fight back, and just enter your email address and that's fighting back. So I can endlessly email you Mug Club invitations.
Why is it always that like the big, tough, lumbering conservative guys are always the whiniest?
And then
why do they do that?
The old Santa Claus looking motherfuckers like Glenn Beck are the wise old lions.
They really are.
Oh, I love.
They're like quiet about it too. They're
honestly,
sneaky.
This is making me like Glenn Beck a lot.
Respect, yeah. He was very smart.
I ain't fucking with Glenn Beck.
Nope.
Entering in your email makes you a signatory. It's a statement that you want, not just Mug Club, but you want a network that does better. So it's either time for Mug Club to go big, or it's time for me to go home.
Oh, I
can't change this all by myself.
Don't quit, Steven.
I really can't.
That's what he wants. He wants.
And frankly,
don't quit.
Swimming upstream with just this one show, it's a futile endeavor.
No, it's
so
not.
either Mug Club grows,
and
we can make a living doing this little dog shit show with 8,000 subscribers. Certainly, you can do it with millions.
I know. Isn't that? That's almost insulting to us two sitting here in our position looking at this guy saying, oh, maybe it's just time to hang it up.
Crowder has
millions of people.
6 million subscribers on YouTube alone. Do you know how many subscribers have, or how many YouTubers have 6 million subs and are millionaires? Yeah. Most of them.
And even without that email list or whatever, there's going to be plenty of people that would follow him anywhere.
Yes.
You start setting the standard for this movement. We right this ship, or you know what? I'll go back to doing maybe occasional videos, stand up. I don't need to do this. It's that simple. My life would be less complicated.
Actually, it just sounded like you said you do need to do this. It didn't really sound like you had a lot of other options.
I feel like stand-up's not a good route, though, because he's going to be so depressed and down after this.
He's going to do conservative comedy. I mean, who wants to watch that?
I just want you to think about this for a second. There's a reason that if you felt this way, let me put it this way, and I've heard feedback from you. If you feel in your gut that a lot of conservative content out there feels homogenous, feels sanitized.
Oh, that's interesting, Stephen, because I feel that way about you. Go ahead. What are you going to say?
Yeah, you won't even tell us things.
They're missing some key points.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. There's a reason that you often find yourself asking, hey, I wonder why X won't talk about Y.
Your X not talking about Y.
He has to know he's saying that, right? Like that's him.
And I now know. Any contract that I would have signed would have turned this into yet another softer radio show on video, littered with live reads for every sponsor that could be crammed into every single episode possible.
Fuck the Blaze for trying
sketches,
to make money.
The Change My Mind type segments, the spontaneity, the levity that's made this show exactly what it is. Oh, and by the way, I was told would never work by the same powers that be.
Well, you just said that it won't work because you said it would be a futile endeavor if I did this by myself. Oh, he's spinning his wheels. All right. So that's Crowder's big video. Basically what it boils down to is wah, wah, wah. I signed a really dog shit deal.
How long was he at the Blaze?
I fucked up. Couple years.
Long enough to know how things go?
Yes. Long enough to know how Glenn does shit.
I don't understand. He's just kind of right now coming out and acting like he's just finding out.
Yeah. I mean,
this isn't new, buddy.
Dude, this is brutal. brutal. Lark Bark says, funny enough, Crowder is describing himself. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought too.
Yeah, it seemed like projection that he's unaware of.
Don Lemonade says 6 million from his subscriber count seems exaggerated. Why are there wooden doors on his YouTube channel? That's what I'm asking. Oh man. This whole Crowder thing, man. Again, he didn't learn anything from this. It's all the same shit now.
I know. It'll be no different no matter where else he goes. I'm
a victim fighting a war. I'm a victim fighting a war. Sign up for my email thing or we lose the battle. Marquise, what's up, buddy?
Dude, I took all of that as a learning lesson. Yeah. As someone who's trying to get into that business, I know I'm not experienced at media contracts, any of that sort, but it's incredibly fascinating to see how much a company can really fuck you over. And this guy is so blissfully unaware of how much he just got ass raped by his own media company.
Right.
Part of me feels bad. And I'm not a fan of Crowder. I don't like him. Mm-hmm. But part of me feels bad in the sense that, like, he probably saw Glenn Beck as this big role model of his, and it's like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm gonna go work for Glenn Beck. And then he turns around and they take all of his shit.
Yeah.
Like, I think April's right in that sense. Like, oh, go ahead.
Well, and people are saying in the chat, they're like, Aaron, the contract he was showing wasn't the Blaze contract. The Blaze contract, he goes, why do you think I've been burnt out? He goes, why do you think I haven't been happy? Why do you think I didn't like this? Because if I did it this way, it would be X, Y, and Z. He was clearly referencing what the Blaze was doing to him. He said, I can't sign these deals because I get burnt out, because I haven't been happy, because of this, because of that. You guys are trying to defend Crowder by saying he's not talking about the deal the Blaze sent. He clearly was talking about the Blaze when he said it was a dog shit deal. I didn't own anything. He didn't have his Mug Club email list. That was the contract he was showing. So guys, I know you want to stand up for Crowder. I know, and somebody in the chat says Aaron refuses to listen to that. No. I listened to Crowder. I listened to what he said. What he said was, I couldn't abide by the terms of this deal because I was getting burnt out. I was getting this. To me, that's the contract that the Blaze asked him to sign.
Yes.
And he said, I don't want to sign.
Do you see a lot of parallels?
What's that?
Do you see a lot of parallels with what you dealt with and what Crowder's dealing with? I'm going to punch out. Just wanted to add.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, on a smaller level, but I took the other route than Crowder did. That's why I don't feel sorry for him. Mm-hmm. If an idiot like me understands how it goes, he can understand how it goes too. So yes, Dub says, if he never signed, then why the River of Tears? Exactly. That's what our audience is missing here. The people in the chat who are going, Aaron's not listening to that. He wouldn't bitch about a contract he didn't sign.
No way. Not like this.
He's bitching about a contract he did sign, and it fucked him over. That's why you weren't getting as many Change My Minds. That's why you weren't getting all this other stuff.
It's kind of like somebody talking in third person about something, but they're talking about themselves. Yeah, he clearly didn't read any of it, and he signed it.
Iron Faja says, I hate Crowder, but if you watch the part you skipped over, he said it was the contract of a place he shopped it to. Right, then, okay, but he obviously had the same deal with the Blaze. He had a similar deal with the Blaze because he was talking about how burnt out he was, how he didn't own his Mug Club mailing list. That was the big thing with the Blaze. He signed a shitty deal.
Well, yeah, I don't think he'd be pissed about it if it wasn't, even if that is a contract he shopped to somewhere else, I don't think he'd be pissed about it if it didn't happen to him.
And Shade says it's a bad contract. Stop sucking Glenn's dick. Why not? Glenn did a brilliant thing.
It's great for the Blaze, bad for Crowder.
Glenn hooked Crowder in. Crowder got attracted by the big lights of the Blaze, signed a dog shit deal that didn't give him any of his own shit. And then when Crowder wanted more, he just cut him loose. It was brilliant. It was brilliant by Glenn Beck. He did a great job. And now look, he's turned Crowder into a husk. He's turned him into a broken down man.
I think that's the goal. When somebody that big leaves your business, I don't think you want them to succeed somewhere else.
Yeah. 175 away from tonight's goal. So, we've foregone a lot of our goal and the asking and all that shit to bring you that segment. If you feel like throwing in a super chat, please do. If you feel like doing anything with the Streamlabs and the PayPal, please do. Shades Cal says, so Blaze owns Louder with Crowder for life. No. The contract is up, so Crowder can have all his channels back and everything else. He can't have the mailing list to Mug Club back.
Right.
That's why he's asking for everyone's email. Glenn controlled everything.
Call from
Steven Crowder.
Oh, hello, Mr. Crowder. How are you?
Wah! Wah!
That's definitely, you know what? That definitely sounded like Crowder.
Can we at least get a stinger after that? Come on.
Yes. There we go. There's Steven Crowder calling into our show. Yeah, he doesn't seem like he's doing any better today.
I don't want him to be sad.
No, I don't want Steven to be sad. Not at all.
I think Steven needs a hug.
I do. I think he badly needs a hug. 45. So we are, okay, so we are 45 minutes away from the end of today's show. Unless we hit that goal, then we do overtime. That's what keeps us in business.
Yes.
175 away. If you feel like chipping in, there's the Streamlabs, there's the PayPal. Just a few of you throwing in a few bucks. Super chats and memberships count as well. There you go. If you'd like to contribute to our program. Consider says, but I don't get the feeling that this is as predatory as he's trying to make it seem. No, I mean, he's doing a thing where he's going victim, 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 victim.
Yeah.
He always creates an enemy. It's been big tech. It's been YouTube. It's been the libs. It's been the censorship people. It's been cancel culture.
And then
He's always been creating an enemy, and now it's his own people. Now it's the Blaze. Now it's Big Con, Big Conservative. And all you have to do to help me fight is give me your email address so I can bother you about being in Mug Club.
he's trying to rally everyone.
Yeah, and then you're fighting Big Con. Oh, boy.
And then he'll unleash all of his dirty details if you just give him your email.
If you just give me your email, I'll give you all the deets. And I mean, to me, it's kind of gross because we do a show where we're very honest about our begging. We go, hey, here's what we need to keep this show on the air. Can you do that for us? Here's how you can do it. We don't go like, and if you do, we'll fight a war against the people who are the bad guys in the net. We'll try to make you laugh once in a while and entertain you twice a day. That's what we'll do for that money.
Who would you fight a war against? I can't even come up with somebody.
Royce Lopez.
The dirty Puerto Rican.
Dirty Puerto Rican. Royce. The inner tube floating Cuban. He did come here on a plane. He made that very clear today.
Can he prove it, though?
Citizen M says, it seems absolutely predatory, but every contract is if you're an idiot. You have to be a complete cunt to destroy someone when you were their life hero. Yes, Crowder is being a cunt to Glenn Beck because Glenn Beck got the better of him business-wise.
Yes.
That's what
That's
this boils.
exactly what I saw.
Yeah, that's what this boils down to. This isn't Crowder fighting Big Con. This isn't Crowder fighting the good fight. Crowder got fucked by Glenn Beck, and he wants to get back some of his dignity.
Everyone's mad about contracts when shit goes wrong.
Yes.
That's just how it is. The company always wins.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Unless you play a little hardball. If you go in there and you tell Glenn Beck no, Glenn Beck will respect that. Glenn Beck will go, oh, shit. You know, I got a bunch of people outside the door that'll sign this fucking contract today. Crowder won't. And he'll do one of two things. He'll wish Crowder the best of luck on his future endeavors, and he'll sign somebody else. Or he'll go, you know what? Let's give Steven a better deal because I really need this Crowder guy and the 6 million people that he has on YouTube.
Yes. What's it worth it? Or, wow, what's it worth to you? Damn it.
Let's go to Grank Nutterbutter. He says, yes, you do a show, but it's current year for fuck's sake. Can we fuck off with the useless callers? Do you have strippers coming in to show their boobs as well? Oh, come on. I thought April's Parents Hobby Farm had a great call. I thought that was really good.
I liked it.
Andrew S. says, yeah, you guys are one of the most genuine and no bullshit shows on YouTube. Oh, thank you.
I think we've been pretty transparent almost always.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And by the way, if that was a contract he was offered and didn't sign, then it's very similar to the one he had at the Blaze, because he said, I signed a contract like this before and I was burnt out, I was worn out, I can't do all these shows, this, that, and the other thing.
Which is the one that he signed most recently, because he's talking about how he's not been happy.
He wouldn't complain about a contract he didn't sign. That wouldn't be what he's complaining about. If you didn't sign it, then who gives a shit? You know? He's complaining because it's just like the contract he signed at the other place. That's why he's saying they're all the same and it's all a big con, because he goes, well, the grass is greener on the other side. I'm leaving the Blaze. And then he got the contract offer and he went, oh shit, this is like just the same contract that the Blaze offered me.
Yep.
That's what he's saying.
You wouldn't be that angry if it didn't happen to him. There's no way.
Yeah. Right, exactly. If somebody offered me a contract and I go, no thanks, I wouldn't then bring that contract on my show and go, look at this piece of fucking shit contract that I said no to. It's like, well, you said no to it. Why are you so upset?
Right. Shouldn't you feel good about that?
Yes.
Confident at least.
Right. So that contract triggered him because it was just like the one that he had with Glenn Beck. All right, let's continue on with the show here. Again, 175 away from tonight's goal. I hate to be the businessman because it's been a while since I've had to be, but we've got to make that move so we can do overtime and keep caught up tonight, if you will. And then, of course, we got the morning show coming up tomorrow with Corey. A lot of good stuff coming up there. Let's move on to a genderless, not a genderless society, because we're already almost there. We're already almost at a genderless society, yeah.
What?
Now, how about a pronounless society?
You know what, though? There's part of me that kind of likes that more than having to announce my pronouns to somebody.
Yes, just going like, all right, now we just don't fuck around with any pronouns.
How about we just don't have any then?
Yeah, exactly. Rupert with 1999 says, this could have been you if Gary had an ounce of intelligence when he got you. Just saying.
Yes. Yeah, it could have been.
Yeah, and thank you, buddy. 160 away. Boru says, is this the vaccinated morning show? Clueless and cringe. Look, you Crowder fans, we always hurt your feelings when we do this, but we're right about your boy, and there's a lot of you who come back later and go, you were kind of right about Crowder. So...
Is this the vaccinated morning show?
Yeah, man. These cucks must be vaxxed.
Oh, I got all my boosters, man.
They must be lib cuck vaxxed people.
I'm waiting on my coincidence.
Do you see me dropping dead? I don't think so. Not that has anything to do with anything you were talking about. I was changing the subject. Shit. Thank you, Marquise. $5 says that was incredibly fascinating hour of radio. Thank you, buddy. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you, buddy.
155 away. I wonder if that contract offer was from the Daily Wire. Why? Because Ben's Jewish? Huh? Is that why?
Probably.
All right. So let's find out. Let's find out what a pronoun-less society is. This is how fast, by the way, you're going to have to get used to this. If you're like me and you're in your 30s, even if you're in your mid-20s and older, you're going to have to get used to how fast this social shit moves, because TikTok moves at the speed of Gen Z. And if you think millennials can't hold a fucking thought in their head, holy shit, wait until you see these Gen Z people.
Okay.
They make our ADHD from back in the day look like a nap by Rip Van Winkle. I mean, these people are, if we're squirrel, they're ant.
Dust flake.
Roma tomato.
Right, because weren't we just talking about how we have to list our pronouns to everyone and list them in work emails, everything?
We've been doing that for maybe 2 years. And already on TikTok, the new hot take is, how about no pronouns whatsoever?
I feel like TikTok is just a bunch of, I've got it.
That's all it is. Before they got the last one.
Right. They're not finished writing the terms of the last idea.
They're Abernathy Darwin Dunlap from the movie Accepted. They're like, I figured it out. This is great. I figured a new thing out. No, I've got this. Oh, God, did you know I figured this out? And you're like, wait a minute. You never fleshed out the last thing. Sure we did. We're done with that. New, next.
But I was writing a thesis.
Right. What's your new TikTok about? It's about a new thing I solved. What about the thing yesterday you thought you solved? I solved that already. No, you didn't. It sounds retarded. I'm sorry.
A fucking notebook of like one of these people is just a bunch of half-written sentences.
Right. That's TikTok.
Now there are plenty of tards out there living really kick-ass lives.
Yeah. Just got a TikTok subscription or membership. People who feel their gender doesn't align with any pronouns can officially use no pronouns and make others refer to them only with their name. I would love that.
Sign me up.
You know what?
I would love to go by just April.
Hey, Gen Z, stop drilling. You've struck oil.
God, she's cute though.
Oh boy, I sure would take a sledgehammer to her forehead.
Oh, what?
No, lovingly. Oh, I didn't mean that in
like
a
you're gonna
bad
brand
way.
her with
Yeah,
the end
I'm
of it?
gonna press the craftsman right against her. Here we go. No pronouns. And by the way, my favorite thing about TikTok hot takes, you do not have to look qualified in the least to talk about what you're talking about.
White t-shirt, you're good.
Some crazy asshole with Etsy pictures on her wall, can just, Shutterstock or whatever.
What's her name? Can you read it from there?
Citrine Culture.
Ew.
On TikTok. So she's going to go on with a hot take about pronouns.
Yep.
And the best part about TikTok is you don't have to have a fucking clue what you're talking about. Here we go.
First, I want to say that anybody can have no pronouns. Whether you're agender, non-binary, or just no pronouns align with you, you can use no pronouns. Now, what that actually means. This means instead of using any pronouns to describe this person, you would be using their full name. I'll use myself for an example. Knowing my pronouns are they, them, you would say, oh, they went to the store and then they recorded some TikToks. But if I were...
Sounds like a fun day.
Can we just talk normal? Is that okay?
Do you know why she's right, though? Because the whole pronoun thing is pulled directly out of Gen Z's asshole.
It's a need for importance. Like, oh, I'm going to make up a new rule where we all have to play around with our pronouns first.
Right. So when she's saying like, when she's talking like she has authority on this issue, she technically does because it's all pulled out of everyone's asshole anyway. So everyone is as qualified to talk about it as anyone else.
Yeah.
Because it's all just made up dog shit anyway. Can you go by no pronouns? Sure. What the fuck? Here's why. And it's like, that works for me. It makes about as much sense as they, them does.
She looks confused in this still shot.
Honestly, they set the bar so low for what makes sense that now everything makes sense. It's actually kind of brilliant when you think about it.
It's coming back full circle. Is that what you're saying?
It's a horseshoe.
We're coming out of the gray area.
It's a circle.
To use no pronouns, I would say, oh, Rachel went to the store and then Rachel recorded some TikToks.
I would love that more than what we have now.
Oh my God, perfect.
Again, they came all the way around on the horseshoe and they met me in the middle. Like 9,740 pronouns. He, she, that's it. And then they went, and then we met right there. We went, oh, thank Christ.
We met at the fork in the road.
We met at just say their fucking names. However, these people do have to take responsibility for fucking something as simple as he, she up so bad that we now just have to go by names. Because you guys started to say cat self and lava self and they self.
Now I'm going to guess that there's absolutely zero chance that people get to this conclusion because they realize they're full of horseshit.
Oh, no, she's transphobic by now. Like everybody on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
TikTok, yeah, she's transphobic.
Some folks who use no pronouns will also sort of abbreviate their name to create their own pronoun.
Ugh.
I'll provide an example.
I hope your name is Cuntia. We can shorten up your name for your pronoun.
For myself, perhaps I decide that I want my pronoun to be Ray because Rachel is too long for me to say sometimes.
Ew.
You talk about, I said that Gen Z has an attention span problem. 2-syllable words, too fucking long. We got shit to do and TikToks to make.
She's going to go by Ray now because Rachel's too long. Can you imagine if I said, look, we're going to call me Ape now because April's just too long?
That's what I call Marquise.
Oh, me and Marquise can be the same thing now.
I can call both of you Ape.
We're both apes.
Only yours is because of your name. His is because, I'm joking. I'm kidding. Oh, that was a bad one, boss. You ought to apologize to Mr. Marquise for that one. You're right, Shaka. I'm sorry, Marquise.
I apologize. Fuck.
Then I would say, Ray went to the store and then Ray recorded some TikToks. That way I'm still not using any pronouns that exist or any gendered pronouns. Instead, I'm almost using my own nickname as a pronoun.
Did this bitch just give us all a second grade
God.
English lesson? Like circle the nouns like we're fucking in, what do you call it? Shawshank Redemption, studying for our high school equivalency test?
I think the only thing I'm mad about with that whole video is like how proud of herself she probably is for that take.
Nailed it.
Yeah, exactly. She definitely hit end stream and she's like, I nailed that.
She crushed
I
that
fucking
shit,
got
man.
it.
Nobody better than her.
Ray fucking got it.
Triple N said, so we're just going to sound like morons now?
You talk like a fag, and your shit's all retarded.
That's, I guess, what we're doing. By the way, 155 now away from tonight's goal. If you feel like helping out, knock that out. We will do the offering plate segment in about 25 minutes. Haven't dusted off the offering plate segment in about 6 weeks. So it would be, it would be very interesting if we went back to that tonight. In the meantime, Super Chats, Streamlabs, memberships, and PayPal all on the board if you'd like to help knock that out. So I also wanted to throw a thank you to Victor, who got us some brand new drops this afternoon.
Oh, sure.
I've got all my Men in Black drops now.
Okay.
Thanks to Victor. Here we go. I'm going to run through them real quick.
Give me sugar.
I can use that.
Okay.
Nothing but an undeveloped, unevolved, barely conscious pond skull.
There we go.
The worst way.
People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it.
There you go. That's a good.
like
That
that.
one will get a lot of usage. Thank you very much to Rupert for $5. He says this is what happens when we let HR people control the world.
Yes.
Good point. 150
Thank you.
away from tonight's goal. We have this one.
Totally convinced of their own superiority as they scurry about their short, pointless lives. Is that letter?
And this one.
You know, I've noticed an infestation here.
I like those last two.
All right, Lorax Adam Comedy has been bitching about this Royce shout out all
What?
night long. I'll have to go find this thing. I do not see it.
Buddy, don't bitch if it's not there.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You keep telling me it's on Twitter. I do not see it.
Is he going to make you search for this guy?
I have absolutely nothing. If you can't send it to me, then I don't know what it is.
You got to make sure things are easily accessible here.
But he has been complaining about it all night long. He says, replies if you're Twitter.
Replies if you're Twitter. I don't know.
People have been saying in the chat tonight, wow, tonight's a very good show. It's
That's
a
good.
really good show. If this fucks up our very good show, I'm going to be mucho upset.
I did see one complaint that there's zero cleavage tonight from either of us.
Oh, from either of us?
Yeah.
It's understandable.
Yours are supple.
I'm sorry. I don't see this Royce thing.
Dude, I haven't even been on Twitter.
I'm sorry, Lorax Adam. Whatever you think you did, it's not showing up in any of my shit. It's also in April's DMs for her Twitter.
Sheesh.
Oh my God. Would you send that over to me so he fucking stops? I've about had it with Lorax Adam Comedy. He was kind of behaving himself this morning. But Jesus Christ, now today, just like inject himself into the show. Inject, me. And now look, I'm slowing down because I trusted this guy. Now I'm the jacket. Now I'm Crowder.
Jesus Christ, let me talk for a second.
Do you have it?
I'm trying to look. Are you Lorax Adam Comedy on Twitter? Because I don't see you here.
Says I paid for the injection. You have no idea what the fuck
you paid for the injection. I hope you don't have coincidences.
You know what? Then I'm sorry.
I don't see you, dude.
Thank you. I didn't tell anyone to time out him, but thank you for the timeout. The next one's a ban because that's 2 out of 3 days or 2 out of 3 shows now.
Oh no! See,
where he's just been obnoxious beyond belief.
Okay, now I'm dealing with something.
What?
You know the guy who reached out to me with the contact info for Steven Crowder today?
Yeah.
And he was very excited for us, and
Right.
I was too. And I had the same uh-oh moment at the beginning of that. He's messaged me twice now and said, what the fuck? Why did you two rip into him when you could have had that chance?
Because
This is what Aaron planned for us. I don't know.
Because I can't help myself. I have to be honest. I'd rather be honest than be dishonest and get an interview with somebody.
I know. I do
can't.
feel bad because he did go out on a limb for me, but I'm
What?
sorry, dude. It was worth it to go over that, I think.
It was 1,000% worth it.
Yeah. I'll still send the email. I will.
Triple N says N-word sent a homing pigeon. I know. All right, let's continue on here. Man wants to put up a 6-foot penis statue in a park as a religious display. Or 6 foot. Did I say 6 inch or 6 foot?
You said 6 foot, I think.
A 6-foot penis statue.
So is a penis as tall as Aaron.
Yes. Another dick. Actually, I'm 4 inches taller than that penis. Thank you very much.
Oh, so you're above average?
Yeah.
Oh.
April likes this idea because her religion is dick, apparently.
I do praise the dick.
A man is desperate to erect a 6-foot penis statue in a local park with claims it's part of a religious display. Chaz Stevens, of course it's a guy named Chaz.
Chaz Stevens is a great name.
Why wouldn't the guy who wants to build a giant cock in a park be named Chaz? It's too perfect.
It's the Chaz.
The Chaz Stevens from Boca Raton in Florida has been sending emails far and wide to try and get permission for the 300-pound custom-made piece. His goal is to put the bizarre addition at Fort Lauderdale's famed corner at Las Olas, with plans to hire an off-duty police officer to protect his investment. Get the fuck out of here.
What, from all the people trying to sit on it?
No way. So he's not only going to build a giant cock statue, he's going to hire somebody to watch it so people don't fuck with the dick statue.
I want the blueprints. Is it hooded or not hooded?
Stevens has already received a solid no from Deerfield Beach, but a possible maybe from Fort Lauderdale. Do you know how quickly...
Wow, a maybe?
Do you know how quickly that city council meeting will be overrun with parents being like, no, you're not building a giant cock statue in the park. We will tear that thing down immediately.
How about you just keep your kids off that corner?
It's the park.
Who cares?
It's not Cock Park.
It's Penis Park now.
If there's a park named Cox Park, they can build it there.
We have a BBC park here. What's the problem?
We do. So you could put a 6-foot penis in BBC Park.
And it has to be a certain color.
It would have to be a certain color. I mean, you got to stick with the theme.
Extra thick with 2 C's.
He is yet to hear back from Miami Beach, Wilton Manors, Hollandale Beach, Deerfield Beach, Margatti, Boca Raton, Delray Beach, and Baltimore. So everybody is like, if we ignore this asshole, maybe he'll just go away. The atheist argues the statue is a religious display. Well, then, I mean, you're cutting off your nose to spite your face, because now you're a grown man saying that your religion is dick.
Not only that, he's contradicting himself. You cannot be an atheist and have dick religion.
He's one of those atheists who's mad at Christianity for some reason.
Yeah, but being an atheist means you don't believe in anything.
Right. But he's one of those atheists who's mad at God, so he wants to kind of show the God people at the same time.
He's erecting his beliefs.
He wants to put the 6-foot dick up there to go, fuck you, religious people. But to me, being an atheist should make you happy and being like, I don't have to deal with any religious thing. But
You are one, right?
Well, to me, I can't be one because guys like this fuck it up. Like, my whole point about atheism is I can have whatever relationship with religion I want. I don't have to be bitter and angry and shitty about it. Like, you're out. You're done.
Exactly. I feel like if you're an atheist, you actually cannot have a relationship with religion if you're an atheist. It doesn't exist.
You're not supposed to because you don't care about it anymore.
Right.
Activist Robert Walsh told the news outlet that he hopes the city denies Stevens' request. Says, let him sue us. It's beyond vulgar. It's not art. Children are going to see that, he said. It's just not appropriate for Los Olas. He's just doing this for his own narcissistic tendencies, so everyone is looking at Chaz again. I mean...
Again? Has he done this before?
It sounds like he may have done this before. It sounds like Chaz may have tried for the cock statue in the past.
I think this would be fun if we have a penis park and then we've got like Puss Valley over here somewhere. Like you pull out all the body parts.
You just lean in.
Yeah.
You just go all the way with it.
Yeah.
Here, we got a drop for this very situation. God damn, do we have a lot of them now?
BBC till a DIE.
There you go.
It's an oldie but a goodie.
It's our favorite park. Exactly. All right. So look, we'll keep an eye on it for you guys. We'll see if the 6-foot cock goes up in the park.
We'll watch for penises on the horizon.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that this is not going to go through.
I kind of wish it would just for the laughs.
Just don't think anybody's going to let somebody build a 6-foot cock in
Why
their
not?
park.
They're so beautiful.
I don't
Doesn't
think
everyone love looking at a nice erect cock?
those kind of people don't get elected to the city council.
And hold on, he didn't specify if it was hard or not. What if it's just a sad saggy one?
It's got to be built, so it's got to be rigid. It's got to be stiff.
It could be hanging off of something.
No, that is a weird
Much like an
fantasy.
icicle.
A 6-foot limp penis is a fantasy I think only you possess at this point.
It is mine.
Raz of Chaz says, I'm not cock obsessed. No, it's not. Different Chaz. Not that Chaz, of course. So again, we'll follow up. We'll keep an eye on this guy. We'll see if he gets his giant cock built in the park.
Maybe if you called that one an MLK statue, you'd get it erected.
It would look very similar to the Boston MLK statue. $150 away from tonight's goal. We are missing at the moment, and we are $20 away from this show being the first show we haven't had overtime for in probably about 2 months. If you feel like chipping into the show, there's Streamlabs, there's PayPal. I think a lot of you have gotten a lot of time off from contributions because of the David Chandlers of the world and Fred and many other people. So we thank them for that. If you feel like rallying us here, otherwise in about 15 minutes, we'll cut things a little short, do a little can rattling, and see if we can knock out the rest of that goal. So if you're enjoying what we're doing tonight, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and chip in a little bit if you can. Where are we at on likes? We haven't really asked Crowder for money. Exactly. Crowder's got to watch his pennies now. Where are we at for likes? What's our number? We'll see if we haven't really rallied the likes tonight, so I don't think we're going to be close to 200.
I think it's been a great show.
It's been a wonderful show. Let's see. 68. Fuck my ass.
68.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, my God.
Fire off that. 85, they're saying. All right. 85. Why don't we hit the like button? Oh, now D. Gulag says 125.
Interesting.
Well, that shot up there pretty quick.
How do you see how many likes are on something?
Just broke 130. All
Okay.
right. Well, if we get it to 200, we're pretty happy for the evening shows. If they get to 200. 133, 135, so it's way up there. Alex with $2 says confirmed Raz of Chaz will now be Raz of Jizz.
Riz of Jizz.
Riz of Jizz. I'm sorry. That would have to be a new name. 140 likes. SJ's Roach says, been listening to you since you were on In Hot Water. You guys have a great show. Well, thank you very much, buddy. $20 from SJ's Roach. We're 135 away from tonight's goal. Thank you, guys. There's the Streamlabs. There's the PayPal. Super chats and memberships count as well. And now we're up over 150 likes. All right, let's give you guys a show for the next 15 minutes here before we got to rattle the cans and see if we can knock out that goal. Otherwise, we start off behind tomorrow morning. The U.S. government has now gone back and renamed 5 sites for having harmful names because the Biden administration set up a derogatory geographic names task force and they identified what needed to be changed.
Well, how sweet of them.
That's wonderful.
I think that was necessary and, pressing.
Well, it's our tax dollars at work. Our tax dollars at work need to go to discovering what names need to be changed. If you need to go look into shit to find out if the names need to be changed, then it's not important enough to change the names.
Right. I feel like if it was egregious enough, somebody would have said something.
Right. Tree in the woods, nobody around to hear it, doesn't make a noise.
Mm-hmm.
Leave it alone. And also, I feel like we have slightly larger problems.
Oh, really?
That we need to handle. It's, again, just me.
Only think of 700.
Sites in California, North Dakota, Tennessee, and Texas have all seen name changes as part of a process that was initiated around February of last year. At that time, authorities sought permission to identify and subsequently remove and change the name of 660 U.S. sites, calling the changes long overdue. This is like some communism shit where you take down your history and remove all connections to your past.
Scrubbing it.
Right, scrubbing it so you can build the new gods.
This to me is a step worse than the unnecessary step of changing sports teams' names.
Right. Yeah. I mean, what's it going to do?
It doesn't need to happen. It's not hurting somebody.
It's just going to give you gayer mascots. At least one of the name changes has come with outcry from the local population. Squaw Gap in North Dakota renamed Homesteaders Gap. See, that's what I mean. At least have a good name to replace it with.
Squaw Gap is so fun.
Squaw Gap is fun, yeah.
I like that.
Saw a debate from a local newspaper that claimed the name came from a local rock formation said to resemble an Indian squaw carrying a papoose. and its location in a gap in a hill.
Fine.
Makes sense.
I like it.
See, what these groups should do, or what these government organizations should do, is, I mean, aside from just leaving the shit alone and not changing it at all, give them a little like ultimatum thing. Be like, we found your name offensive. Can you explain to us how you got there?
Yes.
And then when they explain it, the commission can go, oh, sorry. Yeah, I guess we're just dumb. Yeah, you can keep that. Squaw Gap. That sounds actually kind of rad. I like that. Why are you calling this your head rock? Well, one time there was and they bashed his head on a rock, and that's why it's his head rock. All right, we're going to change that one to something else. I feel like...
Look, I can see how you got there, but let's, think about changing that one.
Look, I understand why the name is the name. I just really don't know if it's productive is all. That's...
Might be offensive to some, or all.
Why do you call this Wet Cave? Well, you see, a bunch of Mexican immigrants came in here a while back, and they hid in this cave to ride out a storm. And again, I think we're gonna make you guys change that one. That's again a little iffy. Oh, by the way, SJ's Roach, you're right. You didn't get a Shaka dance for your contribution. There you go. That makes Shaka very happy. Anything over $10 makes Shaka very happy. Mark G with $25 over on PayPal. That makes Shaka very happy. There you go, buddy. Thank you. Our mascot.
I like when his arms get involved.
Shaka Zulu. Oh, and thank you to Ronald for $5 as well.
Thank you.
So that's 30 that's coming off the goal. I think you guys are just about there. 105.
Nice.
Away from tonight's goal. Thank you guys very much for supporting this program. Why did somebody hide a guy pretending to be Royce Lopez? Oh, because he wrote the word for Asians.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. Is that...
We could try just deleting the message first.
If it's not the real...
But we'll see.
If it's not the real Royce Lopez, then I understand it.
Yeah, that's fine. I
would let Royce say that name. Because he is one.
I don't think... he's not Royce Lopez, though.
No, he's Daywave Radio.
Yeah.
Generally, we find they're disconnected from what the culture and economy are out there, one person said. Well, how about you let... Yeah, he's saying the government board is a little detached from what we want here, and we want Squaw Hill or Squaw Gap or whatever it's called.
I certainly want Squaw Gaps.
It sounds like they have a nice thigh gap.
That's what I keep thinking. Yeah, it's a nice thigh gap, you guys. The squaws have good gaps.
That same month, government officials announced some of the new name changes they had come up with, including Echo Peak, Texas, and No Name Island, Maine. Oh, fuck you.
What's wrong with those?
They changed them to that.
Oh, well, that's boring.
No name. So you literally had nothing to replace it with.
So just call it Gap then. It's the new Gap. Where Kanye sells his clothes in garbage bags.
Yes, $1.99 from VCS Stallion says, I love you guys. Love the Oliver Otaku videos. Oh, thank you. Those don't do as well as our other stuff, but they're a labor of love. We enjoy talking about our buddy, the Wrestling Otaku.
He's fun.
$90 away from tonight's goal. Thank you, Trapper, for the $20. Hey, you made Shaka dance. Very nice. Oh, Lord, I just love a super chat. All right.
We're going to have to oil his joints.
We are going to have to oil him pretty soon. Oh, man. So, what are we, 90 away? So we got about 8 minutes before we have to rattle any of the cans. We might not even make it to that segment tonight. So thank you guys very much.
Thanks, guys.
And also, make sure that you get, and Balls Deep, if you want to throw this link in the chat, make sure you get your tickets to the, Raz did change his name to Riz of Jizz. Wow.
Nice. Nice.
Make sure you get your tickets to our comedy show, which is coming up Saturday at Partners Pub in Sartell. I believe we're up to about 30 tickets left, maybe about 25, 30 tickets. Would you say you've got about 50 VIP spots claimed?
I think about 50. I'm going to do that in bed tonight.
Okay, if that's the case, we've got about 30 seats left.
It's going to be fun.
Because we've sold, I mean, there's not 80 seats in the place. We've also sold a bunch of tickets. So between the tickets and the VIP comps, we've got about 30 seats left. So if you'd like your tickets, go to eventbrite.com. It's going to be me, Johnny, April's going to be there, Jonah Maddox and Tom Chilstrom will be performing.
I'm trying to coax a few more people into coming too. So
yeah,
stay tuned.
We may have some, some alumni.
Yes.
Coming by for the show. Also, we have a big thank you and a Shaka dance for Matthew S. with $25 over on PayPal. Shaka's very happy that you did that. There you go, buddy. Thank you so much. That's going to knock another 25 off the goal tonight, which puts us at $65 away. Very cool. And remember, if we get inside 50, we hold off on the panhandling, can rattling segment until 10:25. We give you the overtime, regardless. All right. Continuing on with the show. Again, let's throw the links to the tickets there up in the chat one more time. Again, eventbrite.com, Steel Toe Comedy Show. Oh, my goodness. Trapper with $50 says, save me to VIP tickets, please. April, let's hook up, Trapper. We take 35 of that 50. That's going to bring us down to $30.
Thanks, buddy.
Away from tonight's goal. Thank you guys very much. We do appreciate that. You know, I was thinking about the anniversary show, and I was kind of looking over the numbers and seeing where we'll kind of be monetarily for that.
Yeah.
If you guys wanted to, it looks like we probably could bring one of our friends out from the internet world to our anniversary show. I don't know who you guys would like to have. Would you like to have Reverend Bob, Gino? We can always Chrissy
extend an invitation to all of them just in case they want to come. Just like they invited us to DabbleCon.
Sure, we gotta and then throw them a number if they have them throw us a number if they want to perform. Yeah. $25 away from the away from the Tuesday tonight evening goal after Fauci's Pangolin with $5. How much for April to Shaka? I don't know what that means. And Trapper.
To do blackface?
By the way, Trapper, thank you very much. Shaka enjoys that.
I had
that, buddy.
I had like a urine review come up on my Snapchat after the New Year's deal, And do you recall me having that certain mask on in the house? That came up. Wow. That was spicy.
Carlos says, long shot, Anthony Cumia. We can ask.
Look, I was going to say that's a total pipe dream for me to have him at one of our events.
Yeah, we could ask Anthony, but I don't know if he'd get on a plane and come to Minnesota. We'll see. Bring Corey. Well, Corey would obviously be at the anniversary show. We can't fly. We can't fly him out for this one, but definitely it's earmarked for.
Fly all VIPs to Vegas. Oh
yeah, not gonna have that kind of money.
Look, I would hang out with people in Vegas. I don't know about flying you out there.
People are saying Bob or Carl, Elisa, the Potato, Wrestling Otaku, Urine Review by Salvo.
No.
Royce or Mersh, Opie, Cardiff.
Opie.
How about Oz? Oz is always invited to our shows.
Gonna be there
for sure.
Josh Denny.
Josh Denny. Yeah, all kinds of names. All right, guys. $25 away. We got a bunch more stories for you. Let's go to this one. This is just kind of fun. The audacity of someone to try and fit themselves into this vehicle knowing what the end result would be.
That's an arm?
There's no way. Like, I'm not even scared of crushing my fingers because there's just...
I love how this woman is in this thing acting like, wow, look at how tiny this car is. Yeah, that's the problem. I'm not even worried about crushing my fingers. Look at how tiny this vehicle... It ain't a tiny vehicle.
Did she get like a buffalo to headbutt her in there? How did you get in there?
She just had Bam Bam from the Flintstones hit her with his hit him with his club. Just try to hit her in there.
I'm picturing like a Looney Tunes episode where they're like hitting it with a mallet until something explodes.
They just brought a guy from the Japanese subway system to just hit her with sticks until she got in there.
There's no way that's gonna happen. There's no way. Like, I'm not even scared of crushing my fingers because...
Nor should you be. Not because the car is small, but because your ass is gigantic. Actually, that's not even your ass.
What is that?
That's kind of a leggish thing.
It's like your side ass. It's your side, like, meat flaps, your haunches that have sagged over into ass now.
Yeah. Boy, how much fun would the Green Inferno tribe have with her?
Oh, God, they'd all have the shits from all the fat.
Oh, my God. Yeah, they'd be drizzling all over the place. She'd probably kill them with all her meat.
Just the shit drizzles.
April and I were talking about this when we were walking into the meat market today. We were.
I love a good meat market.
I looked at her and I went. That's what we call our bedroom, is the meat market. April.
His hanging weight is impressive.
Yes. I looked at April today. I go, hey, remember? What's this? Hi, you're on the Steel Toe Show. Oh, that's the third time that number's called me in the last couple days. I think they're trying to reach someone else. I just figured if I answered.
Does it have a name?
Yeah, it's a Chicago number.
Oh, you definitely don't want that one.
But anyway, we're walking into the meat market. I looked at April. I go, how cool was it last night on the show to find out that fucking the Bear Jew was based?
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, that Eli Roth is like, I really wanted to see these college kids get eaten. And I'm like, yes.
I really wanted them to pretend they were all at home and just taking shaves off that leg.
Yeah, I really liked that.
Salt and pepper.
Farley Burge Zone with $20. That makes Shaka dance. Thank you very much, buddy. And $5 from the Farley Burge Zone as well. Love the Farley Burge Zone. Go subscribe to him. He's a good kid. That's going to knock $20 off our goal. We're at $5. We have hit our goal for tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you guys very much for doing that for us. That is very kind of you. We're going to start the clock now for our Wednesday morning goal, because remember, this show is very honest. We do not take any extras, any excess. It all goes to the next day. Fat Samurai with $2 says, how do I find the nighttime shows? Wish. Love you. This is the nighttime show.
Maybe, well, they had like pounds or euros. Maybe they're not.
Oh, I don't.
In our time zone.
I don't know. David Chandler with $20. He makes Shaka dance. Thank you very much. And that's taking us down. Oh, God damn it, Shaka. Takes us down to $3.35 for tomorrow morning.
Thank you, David.
A lot of people just saying ew to that fucking video.
Really remarkably gross.
Thank you to Slammin says for helping Botter's victim out of that hell. Good job.
Nice.
Yeah, we're very happy we could help Mr. Boldo.
Thank you, Slammin.
Thank you very much, Slammin. That's gonna knock our goal right down to 300 even for tomorrow morning. You guys are helping us a lot. We appreciate that. Yes?
Slammin' salmon tonight?
I would watch some Slammin' Salmon tonight. That would be great. Stavy calling him Eli Rothenstein. We get it. He's a Jew. For goodness sake. Oh, man. Shaka quit that crack. Hey, you don't tell Shaka what he can and can't do.
Does that kind of want to make you watch more Eli Roth stuff, though?
Yeah, I would watch more Eli Roth.
What else does he have? What should we watch?
A lot of stuff.
I want to see a list.
Yeah. And Slammin' Salmon is a great movie. That's a very watchable film.
It is so good. That and Waiting to me are almost interchangeable and both great.
All right. Waiting or Slammin' Salmon if you have to pick one.
I want Slammin'
movie.
Salmon tonight.
No, I mean like in general. What's a better restaurant movie?
Damn it. Ugh. I feel like more quotable is Slammin' Salmon.
Okay, yeah. If you don't, I'm going to use your spine as a jump rope.
See, I feel like he just kind of makes the movie.
Well, look, I say this to you sometimes when you're sitting down in a chair that I want to sit in. Well, look at this. If it isn't the King of Siam. Oh, I'm just being humorous. Oh. And if you don't, I'm going to break all your arms.
All of them.
Just get me a bunch of maraschino cherries. You know, the maraschino cherry was named after the boxer, Rocky Maraschino. I think it's Marciano Champ. Whatever, motherfucker!
Yeah, we have to watch that one now.
Go get me the smart girl. You mean Tara? I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. My voice is not that high. Her soup face scared the shit out of me.
Because what are we going to quote from Waiting?
Right? I mean,
I feel like it's just a funny movie.
Yeah, there's a few things, but not as good as
you have
Slammin'
to see
Salmon.
Bush in that one.
Yeah.
It's unacceptable, ladies.
It's not okay.
It's not okay with me.
Oh. And
Shave that shit.
God, I'm just thinking, Michael Clark Duncan has all the great quotable lines in that movie.
Every single one.
He's so fucking good. Oh, have you ever heard of Japanese albino hunting? Oh, no. It's strictly for sport. Strictly catch and release. Well, anyway, I bet the head of the Yakuza that I could bag more Japanese albinos than them. Well, because look at me. I'm a superior athlete. Well, I got my ass kicked. And now I got to pay him $25,000 by the end of the night, or they're going to come take the restaurant. Well, sounds like someone has to go to the ATM machine. Yeah, You would think that, but I'm a little cash poor right now. I just bought land on the moon next to John Travolta. Oh, shit.
Okay, we have to watch it.
All right, what are some more Eli Roth
Find
movies?
it.
If we were to check them out.
We're in overtime now. Let's hit it.
Eli Roth movies. Oh, by the way, yes, we are into overtime. How close are we to 200 likes? Are we getting close? Because we crushed the goal and we're already into tomorrow. I appreciate that.
Fuck the like button.
Are you lampooning me, meat drapes?
That is maybe the best quote out
That's
of
a
that
good
whole
one,
movie.
yeah. Who's guy? Meat drapes.
Do you have?
It's Metropolis, sir? How come it don't sound like that when I say it? Meat drapes.
Do you still have that drop? You had it at one point.
I don't know. I know.
You had a meat drapes one.
I have this one.
It says on your chart that you're fucked up.
That's what I got.
Your meat drapes are fucked.
Stevie J says we're at 169 likes. All right, 31 more.
Bro.
And we're going to get to 200. Let's do that. Oh, he's the one who did Bruce Willis's Death Wish? That was an okay movie.
No, I thought that was the bad one.
Well, I mean, nothing's going to be the Charles Bronson, the one that Jeff Goldblum makes a little appearance in. But the Bruce Willis one wasn't terrible. It was just...
Okay.
It was a remake. He did all the Hostel movies.
I actually haven't seen any of those, and I would like to watch them.
He did Cabin Fever. Oh, you saw a shark.
Why are there sharks here?
Oh, boy. These, I think, are just the acting ones.
Hold on.
Oh, no, these are...
No, I didn't want you to scroll up that far.
These are Eli Roth, Afterlife. He was a co-producer on Baywatch. Where's his directing ones, though? I don't see his directing credits on this one. This is just producer. Here, director. Eli Roth's Haunted House, Trick VR Treat. Finn.
Oh, God, that'd be so bad.
The House with a Clock in Its Walls. Knock Knock. The Green Inferno.
South of Hell sounds interesting.
All three of the Hostel movies. Oh, Grindhouse. He made Grindhouse. The Rotten Fruit. Cabin Fever. So he hasn't done a lot. And then he took some time off to do some acting for a while. All right. I'm an Eli Roth guy, though. Mostly the Bear Jew. All right, let's continue on here. Would you like to see what a liquor store in Compton looks like?
I mean, is it my birthday?
Would you like to take a walk through a liquor store in Compton? Let me tell you something. You walk through a neighborhood in Compton thinking it's your birthday, you're going to end up thinking you got hit by a train.
I feel like I need armor on if I'm walking through Compton.
Your walk through Compton ends up turning into a blacked.com video.
Yeah, it doesn't end well for me, no matter what kind of armor I have on.
No.
This is what it looks like when you go to a liquor store.
Oh, I can't
come on, guys.
Have an NWA song playing in the background. I hate TikTok. All right, so here you go. Here's how you get in. No, you're not going to visit your uncle in prison.
Oh, my God.
This is simply getting into the liquor store. Now, you would think you open this door, you go shopping for your booze, right?
I hope so.
Oh, okay. And then there's that.
No.
No mask, no service, push to enter. Look at that big sign up above the... Yeah, it's a liquor store, but don't worry. They'll take your EBT because my taxpayer money needs to pay for your booze because it's very important.
I'm very much having a fuck the government moment.
Yes, this should give you a fuck the government moment.
I just choked a little.
When EBT is bigger than any of the Captain Morgan or Jack Daniels signs in that place, the first thing you notice is EBT. There you go. You have to be buzzed in. So you go to this door, it doesn't open. You have to wait to be buzzed into the liquor store.
It looks like you're going through a maze, like you're a rat or something.
Yes. And do you know why that is?
To make sure you don't go back through the door with shit.
Right, because everyone steals from this fucking liquor store.
Yeah.
So
you gotta go all the way to the counter and then they let you out.
You get buzzed in one or two at a time. You go in, you buy your booze, and then the next person can come in. Imagine living in such a shithole of a place that you can't even run your business the way you want to because you can't trust people to be fucking honest at an amount that allows you to be kept open.
Over booze. You
have to wait to be buzzed in, and then you can go shop for your liquor.
Oh, God.
And then, of course, you look at the checkout counter. It's all plexiglass.
So wait, it looks like you can't even go pick up, like physically, you can't go pick up the bottle you want. You have to ask them for it. That's what I'm getting from that. It's all behind the counter and you have to ask them for it.
Oh, so they have all the booze back there.
So you can't even touch it until you pay for it. Fuck. Oh my God.
How do you not? Okay.
So you get a case of depression also when you go get your booze.
Yeah, I have to criticize the owner now of the liquor store. Like, why don't you just go to a different neighborhood?
Well, I'm sure people still buy it.
Yeah, I guess. I'm
like,
sure.
What if you're the only one in that neighborhood? They're going to buy it.
You raise a good point.
And you only need to keep, a few of them stocked.
Stavi says, that's how my local spot is, fucking Atlanta. I wonder what's the common factor. Well, the same factor that makes April not able to walk through there by herself.
Do you want to tell everybody what that is?
The word that comes before .com.
Oh.
The little girl with braces on the couch. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Oh, Jesus. My lost interest says almost as bad as an electronics store in New York City.
Over, New Year's Eve weekend, I had to stop by a Walmart for a friend's kid, needed something. And I walked by the, kids' clothing section, and they had men's socks and underwear locked up behind glass so nobody would steal them. I'm actually not kidding. I think I saved videos of it, but they had fucking socks and underwear locked up.
Oh, I remember that.
So people don't steal it.
Yeah, you sent me a picture of that they had the socks and underwear locked up because people were stealing too many socks and underwear. Jesus. Big thank you to Megan for $10 and Timothy for $10.
Thank you.
Over on PayPal. That's going to knock into tomorrow. You guys are $280 away from tomorrow already. Thank you very, very much for that.
It's very cool.
We got, I don't know why this hasn't been a thing before, and I don't know what, I believe, and I think we've talked about this on the show many times. I think you have to be kicked out of school by 8th grade if you're not pulling at least a B average. Because with the internet and all this shit now and everything at your disposal.
So many ways.
How do you not? Even if the teachers go, oh, well, you have to show your work. You can find that on a website too.
I have before. Not in high school or anything. It wasn't that evolved yet, but in college chemistry shit, if I could not figure out my way through a fucking problem, I basically just Google the problem and somebody is there with an entire breakdown of it.
Why did you even try to do it on your own in the first place?
Because I have some dignity.
Why didn't you just go straight to the internet? Because you weren't going to remember that anyway.
Feeling guilty.
Okay, do you remember the thing now?
No.
Would you know how to do it if I asked you to?
I would not. No, I wouldn't. I've never used it to this day.
You know how much drinking time you lost out on because of that pride?
I did, and all the guys that denied me. I could have been turned down one more time.
But aren't you glad they did, April? I mean, look where you ended up. Did you just up and down me? I wanted that to be a very loving answer.
You would miss that if it wasn't here.
That is my mistake. That's not her fault. I should have never put myself in that position.
Zoe Deschanel wants her bangs back.
Oh, does she? I read that earlier today. Yes.
I liked it.
Zoe Deschanel wants her bangs back. Well, she can't because I'm rocking them now and they look fabulous. Oh. Thank you very much. So one retired teacher is, I think this counts as being a rat if you're a teacher.
Okay.
She's creating a YouTube channel now where she just gives kids all the answers.
I love her.
I think she's great.
I immediately love her.
I also think we should kick every kid in America out of school if they haven't figured out how to cheat and get B's and A's by the 8th grade.
I also think that showing your work should kind of be a thing of the past a little bit because, I'm sorry, you're never going to be without a calculator. Do you remember those days where they're like, oh, you're going to be able to do it by hand quicker than a calculator? Fuck you.
No.
The fuck I am.
That is incorrect.
You're always going to have this on you at all times.
Oh, see, this is where you and I have a little bit of a gap here. When I was in elementary school, they would ask us, they had this smart-ass response. Oh, well, you're not going to have a calculator with you.
No, that's what they told me.
Oh, they told you that too?
No, I'm just being a smart-ass, and this is your calculator now.
But they're like, yeah, oh. I'm like, I used my calculator to get that answer. Well, you're not going to have a calculator with you all the time when you grow up.
No, you literally are.
I have a calculator, a pizza orderer, a music player, a movie player, a television, pornography, homemade and professional, all of it on this item right here. I didn't say it was you. Relax.
Thank you. I would prefer it to only be other ladies.
It's
actually, I like that. I like being cucked out.
It's just big fat black girls. That's
with
all
Aaron.
it is. No, not with me. I filmed.
Sitting upon his face.
I just filmed it. It was an old Jewish man with big fat black chicks.
Oh,
he liked it. He was a fan. What can I say?
I want shaka porn.
There's no accounting for that.
What do you think I would get if I Googled?
That's just shoving
porn?
That's just shoving a log up somebody's asshole. That's all that is. Let's go ahead and check out what this creepy looking newsman has to say.
All right, parents, listen to this one. A former teacher is turning her talents into easy-to-watch videos to help make math a little easier to understand and a little less stressful along the way. ABC Action News reporter Mary O'Connell here with how she's helping both students and, of course, their parents.
Math
and making teachers useless. I think there should come a day in my lifetime where we do away with public schools and all education is handled on the internet.
There's part of me that doesn't hate the idea at all, and it's time saving. Your kid can stay at home, but then you don't do the socializing. Like the kids aren't around other kids,
That's
and they're
true.
not doing sports unless you go to that after the fact, like
That's a
after
good
you're done with
point.
your classes.
All right.
Like I feel like you need the in-person experience to become a human who can function in society.
We're going to have to work that out.
Yeah,
You're
I know.
right.
What,
is
robots?
in everything we
I don't
do,
know.
from budgeting to cooking.
That's in analyzing, how your favorite sports team's doing. Go Bucks.
But for some students,
They
finding
did go. They're out of the playoffs.
the right answer can add up to headaches and frustration. That's where Marcia Silberman
That's part of school,
comes
though.
in.
My goal is to make math stress-free for them.
She's a former Hillsborough County school teacher.
Fuck them. Math had to be stressful for me.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
No, that's
But-
that shitty old person thinking of
Well,
like,
call
fuck these.
me a boomer then, because I thought that part of school was learning how to like get through struggles and work through shit.
No, I think school now is more about like letting the teacher convince you to cut off your genitals. I think that's kind of what public
You know
school
what?
is
I
about
can't.
now.
I can't fight that fight
Yeah,
with you
I'm
anymore.
I'm pretty sure that's what school is for
Yeah.
now.
With over 30 years of experience. Silberman retired from teaching and went into tutoring, telling me
interesting.
she knew she still had a passion for working with.
So Mrs. Silverman found a way to monetize her little retirement here. That's
I don't think anyone's drawing the conclusions.
yeah, I mean that's really good. What do you call that? She's being a good entrepreneur. You know,
I
she's
think
got
so.
a real nose for dollar bills and
Oh,
money.
a real nose for it?
Yeah, she can sniff it out. Good for Mrs. Silverman.
Students.
With COVID,
Gross.
students, really became very technology
Retarded.
savvy. So a YouTube channel would help them where local...
By the way, fuck her avatar. What a misleading little picture that is.
I know. She's kind of like droopy dog with her real smile, but then she's all just,
Yeah, look at this picture. I'd fuck
Beautiful.
that lady.
yeah, me too.
That, I'd take this for a walk so it could go piddle. That's a totally different person.
Oh, that's mean.
I'm sorry.
Did you hear that, Gordy?
Students and even
eating a
worldwide
sock.
would be able to go for help.
She came up with Math with Marcia.
Hi, I'm Marcia.
That
The
thing is
YouTube
hot.
channel launched in November, now with over 1,000 subscribers. It gives
That's it? This is what's wrong with the world.
Well, this is going to grow it, though.
We are zooming towards 10,000 subscribers, and we are doing nothing to better mankind. This woman is educating the world's children, and she's got 1,000 subscribers.
I think we're creating better people every day.
I suppose. The people who
Should
the
have your
public...
kids listening to this shit and preparing for the real world.
Yeah, exactly. Then they won't come to you one day and go, Mom, I want to cut my dinger off.
students and their parents helping with homework, step-by-step explanations and examples through simple, short videos.
A classroom is moving at a fast pace. Everyone learns at a different pace. So students are able to stop it, rewind it, watch it again, and build that confidence so they understand the language of math.
She can't be the first one to do this. This has to be a thing.
No, I'm sure it is. I think she's maybe just one of the first ones to get on TV about it.
Yeah, this has to be. I mean, there's such a market for this. Are you kidding me?
I feel like even like college students probably do shit like this in their spare time.
I kind of want to do like a Billy.
Nerds.
Yeah, I want to do like a Billy Madison thing. I want to go back to school, and I just want to use the internet to cheat to see how easy it would be if you were a school kid now.
Yeah.
And see how many A's I could just see what I could.
That kind of would be fun, huh?
Yeah.
For the square root of 8, I'm going to break that up into the square root of 4 times 2.
One teacher showing that helping students understand the answer minus the stress of the subject can equal a path to success.
There will be a time where I will retire, but these videos will live on and continue to help students everywhere.
In Tampa, Mary
like
O'Connell.
I like that. That's
She's
a great
good
idea.
person.
It also reminds me that, again, we should be kicking kids out of school if they can't cheat their way to A's.
I completely agree at
That's
this point.
that should be so easy.
I kind of hate that, like, I don't know what happened to you if you ever got caught using like a calculator or something in school when you weren't supposed to, but like they still shamed us back then. Like, oh, you're not going to have that calculator on you. You need to do this on your own. And I just think that's a load of bullshit even back then.
Yeah.
That was 10 years ago.
I agree. Lando Walker says she looks like a real life Peggy Hill. Kind of. I see it. I can see Peggy Hill in there. Orange plus triangle equals 4. See, this is why we need it for that. This is why you need a YouTube account for it. Yeah. My Lost Interest says her OnlyFans account, Math with Marsha, has 10,000 viewers. No,
That's
she does
pretty
not
great.
have an OnlyFans. Well, I guess
I told you
OnlyFans is like for
OnlyFans
cooking.
isn't technically porn, but it's known for porn.
That's not Math with Marsha.
Don't you remember that oh God, don't you remember we did a story one time that OnlyFans wanted to like remove the stigma of like porn and shit off there for like a day and it didn't go well because they lost so many people.
Oh yeah, they were gonna ban porn
they were gonna
for like a
ban porn.
week. Yeah.
Mhm.
How come I Math with Marsha? I can't find an OnlyFans for that. Are you guys fucking with me a little bit? Math with Marsha, Facebook, TikTok. I don't see an OnlyFans. Only pans for the ones that can't cook. Oh, that's very funny. How many cocks can fit in each hole based on length and circumference? That is not a word problem they should be doing in class.
Steve's guitar, 5 loaves of bread plus Aaron equals 0 loaves of bread.
Oh man, that's addition by subtraction and vice versa. I would just, hey, could you explain to them how the last loaf of walnut cranberry bread went this weekend?
I was going to just now, actually. Yeah, we got the same half loaf of cranberry walnut bread to share for soup because I made a lovely beef stew the other day.
Yeah,
homemade.
How'd it go?
I actually got some. I think I got 3 normal-sized pieces out of the half loaf, and
I
then
believe
like
there's
a small one.
I believe there's 6 big full-size pieces in there.
Yeah, and then there's like 4 like gay-sized pieces for the butt of it, you know, and he shared those with me too.
Yeah.
It was a nice improvement in my life.
Guys, we went halvesies on a loaf of cranberry walnut bread. So
even Gordy's proud of you. Look at him.
Loaf piggy no more. Thank you, buddy.
He just wanted a nap on Mom's lap.
Thanks, you little fucker. Are you trying to bite? Are you trying to bite?
Gordy does this new thing now where if Dad, I just called you Dad, like Dad in regard to him, where if Aaron tries to like hug me or kiss me or anything to me,
Gordy goes
he gets
nuts.
Pissed. He is so mad about it.
We now, if we like make out in the living room or something in front of Gordy, he goes ape shit.
He tried to get in on it today.
Yeah.
Here.
Let this happen.
You're not making him do it.
Come on, make the noise. We got an audience here.
Oh. Get him, Gordy. Get him, Gord.
All right, there we go. That was a fun little. That was a fun little experiment. That we just. Oh, there's more of it. Happy Plague Doctor says this show died tonight. That was something that I wanted to do.
Aaron felt gay for a second.
That was 100% for me. All right, guys.
He wanted to play with his rat.
Back into stories, I promise.
I cried over that.
You thought that was funny?
Yeah.
A father was arrested after allegedly driving drunk with his 1-year-old son in the front seat.
As you do.
You're not even supposed to have a 1-year-old outside one of those like space
Car
shuttle
seats.
latched in car seats. It happened in Grand Blanc Township, Michigan over the weekend. The man had a blood alcohol content above 0.17. Where were you with a 1-year-old that you're getting to a 0.17?
Probably regretting the 1-year-old.
Watching some football. The man's 1-year-old son was in the front seat and not in a car seat. Dude, 1-year-olds are like little mush bags.
You can't even. That's like putting a sack of potatoes in a car seat. No, not a car seat. A
in just a
seatbelt.
seat with nothing.
That thing is gonna slump everywhere.
On top of the operating while intoxicated charge, he was also charged with child endangerment. No shit. The police department made 2 other arrests for drivers operating while intoxicated over the weekend. The other 2 drivers had blood alcohol content above 0.17. One of the drivers blew a 0.27. The other driver was a convicted felon and had a loaded, unregistered handgun in the vehicle. Jesus.
I think we need to get this baby somewhere else.
I'm starting to think that Michigan might be a real bag of shit kind of place to live.
Michigan is like, is it Michigan or Wisconsin that has the most like amount of drunk like?
Wisconsin.
Is it Wisconsin?
Wisconsin has a lot of drunk driving. Oh, they
man.
love it. It's like their favorite over there.
God, that tiny little 1-year-old probably would have been safer if you put it in the console.
Right. That probably would have been safer for him.
All right. Seatbelt.
Thank you very much to Andrea B. for becoming a member. We're 275 away from tomorrow's goal. Thank you very much. And Dub says we're at 199 likes.
Woo.
199. So the next like is like number 200. And by the way, we crossed over 8,000 likes this afternoon, or 8,000 subs.
Congratulations.
This afternoon. Yeah, and our Elisa Jordana video that we just put out today with the Andy Dick arrest and all that stuff, that's doing very, very well. It's over 1,000 views already, and we just debuted it a couple hours ago. There we are. We are over 200 for the night. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Jay Santos said Gordy got mom's 5 head.
Oh no.
Oh.
All right, guys, I have
mean.
another story for you tonight. Here you go.
Shocking and anti-Semitic discovery today inside of a park in Queens.
I just want to apologize ahead of time for what I've done.
Was this you?
Swastikas found inside Forest Park just before noon. When police arrived, they found 2 fallen trees with symbols spray painted in white. Tonight, cops are now looking for whomever is responsible.
Okay, now let me just say this. It is just in some random park on some random ass trail.
Yeah.
I'm thinking a couple of kids were out there with some spray paint cans fucking around. They saw 2 fallen trees and they decided to be naughty. I don't think this is like, I hate it whenever a story like this comes out. They're like, oh, is this white supremacy on the rise? No. A swastika has been a very naughty thing to draw for a long time.
Yeah, maybe God put it there to keep you on your toes.
I remember when we were in school.
You put swastikas on everything.
My
right?
friends and I would diddle swastikas once in a while.
I did too. I've got this,
Well, no, to make it a swastika.
Well, I was going to say the makings.
You're to make it a proper swastika.
I didn't go through with it, apparently.
Hold on, let me just fix it.
Why are you drawing a dick?
Well, because that makes it better.
The dick swastika.
Oh, man, if I wouldn't have fucked up that top one, that was shaping up to be a really nice one. There you go. It is a mesmerizing symbol.
It's almost peaceful. Like, it's very symmetrical.
Well, see, these kids, I don't think this was like a statement. I don't think you pick 2 fallen logs in the forest and go, oh, yeah, this is where we're going to make our stand here, Cletus. This is just a couple of kids fucking around, having a good time, and they just said, ooh, look what we got away with. We drew something bad on the logs. You're not going to convince me that this is like a warning sign or a welcoming to their friends to join the meeting.
It does seem quite harmless.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Brian calling it a harmless goof.
Yeah, and to me also, like, obviously swastikas don't mean good things, but I feel like I can look at one and not feel physically harmed by it or like I'm in danger. I don't know where we like lost that to. Like, we can't look at something and be like, oh, that's clearly not good, but I'm going to be okay.
Yeah. Marquis says, I drew a swastika on my Minion blow-up doll. See, some people just really get into things. And Marquis is black. That's super fucked up. Mark said, some kids, when I was like 8 years old, I used to draw them because I thought it looked cool, had no idea what it meant.
Yeah, it's kind of like drawing those S's. You know how everyone drew that weird S?
Yeah.
Where it's kind of the same thing, but it makes an S shape.
Yeah. Union Jack says, when you're young and stupid, drawing swastikas is normal. Exactly, because you're young and dumb. It's kind of naughty. You're just like, ooh, look what I did. No one will ever know you did it. I
feel like a badass for a second.
I feel personally attacked. Lock them up, says Scooby Jew. Where are you? We're gonna make unleavened bread now. I like this one. Floodwaters force homeless to leave encampments next to the San Diego River. I have an idea.
Yeah.
I think we can take care of this whole homeless encampment problem. We just got to keep running our garden hoses into local rivers.
Oh, you saw what that one guy did, though. He tried to spray one with a tiny bit of water and the whole world blew up.
But if we make this one an act of God, it's totally okay.
Well, then let's all start praying.
TikTok banned Hassan Piker today. That's kind of fun.
For being terribly boring?
I hope so. I hope it wasn't because he was offensive, because nobody should be offended by Hassan Piker. He's remarkably boring, incredibly cringe, takes himself way too seriously for a guy his age, has zero sense of humor, and believes retarded political things.
Yes, he's awful.
Yeah.
Who is worse, him or his uncle? Pick one.
He's worse.
You think he's worse?
Yeah. According to a recent social media post, known Twitch streamer Hassan Piker has been banned on TikTok for a Black Lives Matter related video. If he did it in blackface, then I'll show my respect.
I agree.
Piker posted as much on Twitter with a communication with TikTok support, where he claimed that his TikTok editor's account, Ostonox, was also banned. The response was that the ban would remain as a result of hateful behavior. So that means he's like done.
Oh, yeah.
On TikTok. Because Twitch uses the word ban, and they're so retarded. Like everything Twitch does, it doesn't mean ban, it's a suspension.
Like a 3-day suspension, usually.
Yeah. Unless you're me, you are indefinitely suspended. We're not banned on Twitch.
You know, I still check on that sometimes.
Yeah.
I still go to it just
Am I
to
still
see.
indefinitely suspended?
Yeah, I haven't found you yet.
As many know, Hassan is one of the most viewed streamers on Twitch, where he discusses news, video games, and left-wing politics. Having once been a producer at Young Turks and a columnist at Huffington Post. Boy, he is textbook, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
It's no surprise to see the streamer on other platforms like TikTok, given its popularity. However, as of this writing, his TikTok account is banned. Well, I mean...
Sorry.
Look, I mean, you're into all that shit. Like, I like it when one of these people get kind of burned by their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
They have all these rules for thee and not for me kind of a thing. And then when they get banned for it, they're like, these rules are too stringent and they're too tight and they're too tough. And it's like, well, then you shouldn't have advocated for them. Like, you didn't mind when all these other people were getting banned because they disagreed with you.
I just feel like some people get to a certain level of fame and they think who the fuck they are.
Right.
And then suddenly the rules don't apply. I don't know. I have moments where today I was thinking to myself, God, it's kind of cool the people I get to reach out to lately and talk to and stuff. And I think that's really interesting, but I never like lose sight of where I'm at and think that I don't live in the real world.
Yeah, My Lost Interest says he showed a black dancing doll when people donated money. Oh, no, that's just good, clean fun. That would have been totally fine.
You are buying Shaka's dance moves.
Yes, exactly. Hey, April, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Would you like to do a Big Money Rustlers watch along tomorrow?
Yes.
Would you really?
Yeah.
Let's see what the audience thinks. For tomorrow's show,
I love a good watch along.
If we hit our goal tomorrow for tomorrow's evening show, would you do Big Money Rustlers? That's by the way the ICP Western that they made.
Ooh, we could have movie treats. Fun.
Watch along tomorrow night. Yes. No. You guys get to decide. We're going to ask this before we sign off tonight. We're going to get your guys' answer as to whether or not we should do a Big Money Rustlers watch along for our show. If you guys will support that and you guys would hit the goal for that kind of a thing, we will absolutely do it. But this poll will be binding. This is like one of those Elon Musk polls. This one is binding. We have to watch it. We'll have to do it if they say yes. We won't do it if they say no.
Ooh, I'll get us a couple 40s.
No, we got to have Faygo.
Faygo, that's right.
Yeah, we've got it. You got to drink Faygo during
What
ICP
flavor
movie.
Faygo would you like?
I would like root beer because that's really ICP. I think they do the root beer thing.
I can go along with root beer.
I'll drink Faygo root beer. Yeah. Drink Faygo root beer and dress up like two clowns because they look queer.
Do we have to dress up?
Yeah, do we have to paint our faces for it too?
That would be so much fun.
Should we go all the way?
Oh.
For Big Money Rustlers? Should we
Can you
go
look
try
them
to
up
should
for
we
me
go
again?
try to find an ICP t-shirt too?
Yeah, can you show me a picture of them again so I can see if I could pull off the face stuff?
All right, here, ICP. There you go. Images. Could you pull off could you paint our faces
I
that
want the
way?
guy in the white shirt.
Okay, so I have
That
to
one's
be
me. You're the
Shaggy.
You're the gay looking one.
I have to be Shaggy 2 Dope, and you have to be Violent J.
Okay.
Not I keep calling him Silent J because
Silent
of Silent
J.
Bob. All right. So I'll be Shaggy. You'll be Violent J. Right now, it looks like with 57 votes coming in, 68% say yes, we should do a Big Money Rustlers watch along. 31% saying no. All right. I guess we'll get some Faygo root beer and we'll
Do you want to do a poll like in overtime tomorrow on the morning show maybe?
Yeah,
like at
we'll
the
do
end of
it.
it when
We'll
there's
do
a
another-
bigger audience.
We'll do another one tomorrow. We'll get
Okay.
everyone's opinion on the matter.
I would like that.
All right. So it sounds like Big Money Rustlers could be the watch along tomorrow. We hope you guys enjoy. That's going to do it for tonight. We hope you liked the show. Hit the like button if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you liked it. April, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we will be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Central. Have a good night.